day yesterday. We had such a good time hanging out on the late night stream. If you haven't made it to a late night stream yet, the late night streams have been so awesome. I'm Jose Canwusi. I know who you are. Oh, Oreo, you're talking to Blorp. Copy that. I'll just chill over here. While you guys talk it out, I'll just wait over here. I'll just hang out alone. I got NFL Live on the TV. NBA TV just ended. We got a full show on the docket. Let's get into it and get this thing started the only way we know how. You are listening to Take Back with Zach, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting world, including deep dives into the greatest teams to ever exist, the Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels. So the Angels just got swept by the Guardians. I want to preface this by saying I'd never once going into this season had hope that the Angels were going to do anything good, right? I never was like at the beginning of the year, like, hey, this is our year. Hey, if Mike Trout's healthy, I never thought we were going to be good. If anything, I thought we were going to finish in last place in the AL West. I think I picked us to finish like second, but we're not going to talk about that. We have now lost 29 of the last 33 games in Cleveland. That is so disheartening on so many levels. Because that's a team in Cleveland that is just consistently good at baseball. Not great. Not like the best team in the league. They are just consistent winners over there in Cleveland. That is what they do. They did it when they were the Indians, and they're doing it as the Guardians too. The Angels have lost 29 of their last 33 games against Cleveland. We're 1-5 on this road trip. Things are going bad. Like so horribly wrong for my team. Also, my Laker. I'm in a tough spot, guys. I need you to pick me up as much as you possibly can. MK6 is in here. I'm going to fix the Lakers. I'm going to fix the Lakers at some point in this show. This show, by the way, is available everywhere that you get your podcasts, and the video is available on YouTube. This is the first hour of a 4-hour live show on Twitch and YouTube. So if you like this, you're going to be loving the full show. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. We might be changing the time a little bit once the NBA season ends, guys. Maybe going to shift some things around. We'll see what happens. We're also live every single night after the NBA play-in games. On today's show, we are going to be covering the NBA playoffs. Victor Wembanyama, I've got to take on the Western Conference. LeBron James's future. And, of course, at the end of this Power Hour, I'm going to fix the Los Angeles Lakers. I also got a little bit on USC football's schedule this year and what we're looking at in college football in general. I'm very, very excited for it. But as you know, this show begins the exact same way, without fail, every single day. And that's with the verse of the day. What up, Swaggy? This is from 2 Chronicles, the first chapter. This is post David being the king and passing the kingdom on to his son Solomon. The night they basically went to the tabernacle and did a bunch of sacrifices and stuff, and basically anointing Solomon as king of Israel. That night, God appeared to Solomon and said, "What do you want? Ask, and I will give it to you." What do you want? Ask, and I will give it to you. Solomon replied, "You showed great and faithful love to David, my father, and now you have made me king in his place. O Lord God, please continue to keep your promise to David, my father, for you have made me king over a people as numerous as the dust of the earth. Give me the wisdom and knowledge to lead them properly, for who could possibly govern this great people of yours?" All he asked for was wisdom and knowledge. God said to Solomon, "Because your greatest desire is to help your people, and you did not ask for wealth, riches, fame, or even the death of your enemies, or a long life, but rather you ask for wisdom and knowledge to properly govern my people, I will certainly give you the wisdom and knowledge you requested, but I will also give you wealth, riches, and fame, such as no other king has had before, or you will ever have in the future." We're leaning with humility, first and foremost. Speaking of humility, that goes really well into our movie of the day. Our movie of the day is a classic from the Disney company, Invincible. Football is right around the corner, and I'm getting the football sweats right now. What's up with the international games? I'm actually scared of the NFL right now. I'm freaking out. The schedule releases tomorrow, and I'm like so excited about the schedule being released. That is just a bad place to be as a fan, right? We're in the middle of the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs. We had overtime hockey last night. We have incredible basketball every single night. And yet, more than anything, I'm excited to see what teams play who and when they do it. The NFL schedule is a bigger story than anything happening in the NBA and the NHL right now. That is a crazy place to be. We're talking about a league in the NFL that over the past decade has clearly become the number one league in America. No question about it. To the point now that it's carrying a similar torch that basketball has carried, where the transaction is one of the most fun parts of the entire season, right? NBA free agency honestly gets more eyeballs and care and attention than the actual games do in the regular season. People care more about when free agency opens up and who's going where and talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Is he going to get traded or not? I don't know. Than they do actually watching the games in the regular season. I don't think that's going to happen in the NFL, but brother, I'm not going to lie. I am stoked to see what teams my Chargers are playing on Thursday. What the schedule is and how the teams like to do their silly little announcements. It's all very, very, very fun. I can't generate until 9 something tonight. Oh, no. He ran out of coins. XD1 is in the chat. Swaggy's in the chat. What up, guys? Hanging out with us on this beautiful, beautiful day. We're watching Invincible today. Oh, I forgot to read the blurb on the back. Invincible is the inspiring true story of Vince Papale, an ordinary guy whose extraordinary odds get a 1 in a gazillion shot at living every sports fan's wildest fantasy, like the city he lives in and his beloved hometown NFL team. The down-and-out Vince has seen better days. Sentence 2. But then the Philadelphia Eagles' new coach, Dick Vermeil, calls an unprecedented open tryout, and the 30-year-old bartender who never played college ball makes the cut. Wow, spoiler alert. Now Vince needs every bit of his gritty, never say die attitude and enormous heart to survive in the high-stakes world of professional football. Heartfelt and triumphant and filled with body-slamming NFL football action. Invincible will have you on your feet cheering for the scrappy underdog or who helped his team rediscover its winning spirit, and in the process rallied a city when it needed it most. Invincible, guys. Let's go. Vince Papale. Very good movie. Reading is pretty hard. Reading is pretty hard. I would be, who would I be if I had all of the gifts, right? One, being able to talk well, being able to make jokes, knower of ball. I had to have some sort of hindrance, and for me, it's being able to read the back of DVDs. That's my greatest flaw. Let's get into it, boys. I got things to say and get off my chest. The NBA playoffs are coming to an end as 2 of our final 4 have already been decided, and we await what is to be an amazing conference finals. We spend the entire 7 months of the season arguing about who is the best, who is the worst, and who deserves to be exempt from the 65-game rule. For teams like Philly and LA, you prove to be legit top 8 teams of the NBA season. But top 8 is not good enough for those franchises. Philly trusted the process all the way to a second-round sweep, and now Daryl Morey has been fired from his duties as chief decision-maker. My biggest issue with Philly is not player personnel. It's the fact that Knicks fans make that arena MSG 2.0 every time you meet in the playoffs. It's a fan base that claims to be the best in America, yet I don't see it anywhere. You can't even fill an arena to support your basketball team in round 2 of the NBA playoffs. I think I'm going to say it. Philly has bad fans. Philly was once a great sports town. One that other cities around the world looked up to. As like, hey, Philly, great sports town. Great place to play. The people care. Where did that go? This city of Philadelphia has had championship aspirations for all of their professional sports teams for the past 3 or 4 years. It's been pretty good. You even have a Super Bowl in there. You have an unbelievable baseball team. It's not playing as well right now, but will heat up later. The Flyers played well in the NHL playoffs, and you have a team in the Philadelphia 76ers that are perennially a good basketball team. You guys just don't care. You guys don't care. I think you got beaten and battered by all the fans over in San Francisco and all the fans in New York City. I never thought I would come to a place where Philly became a bad sports town, but it is. I wouldn't want to play there if I was a pro. I wouldn't want to live there if I was a human. You want to be a professional athlete. You want to compete at the highest level. You want to have accolades, personal and team. You want to win. But you also want to be respected and beloved by your city. And that's an impossible notion in the city of Philadelphia. They have like 2 or 3 guys that they like, and the rest can go and get out. They have 3 dudes that they care about, and everyone else, bums. I would hate to play for Philadelphia in any capacity. For Philly, it feels like there is no hope in sight for their basketball team. Hope, brother. Hope. I think hope is going to be a theme of this show for the next couple of days or weeks, potentially, as I ruminate on this idea of being hopeful about sports, about your team. Being hopeful in life, I think, is important, right? You want to have hope that person comes back into your life. You want to have hope that you get a really good job out of college. You want to have hope that your baseball team is pretty good this year. Hope is necessary to being a human being that navigates this world correctly, or at least with a slight bit of comfort and care. You want to hope that the weather is good when you propose to your girlfriend. You want to hope that you even get a girlfriend. Hope is so important in so many aspects of life. But in the aspect of being a fan, hope is the worst thing you could possibly have. I think we are all wise enough to know that only one team can win it all, but we still find ourselves hoping every step of the way that our team is that one. As Detroit and Cleveland continue to battle it out to see who faces New York, hope is running rampant through the remaining teams in the East, only to be crushed by the depressing notion that OKC is waiting for you on the other end. And if it's not them, it's the 8-foot Frenchman. Brother Victor Wembanyama had 27 points, 17 boards, 5 assists, and 3 blocks last night in the 30-point win over Minnesota. I cannot fathom a world where this level of greatness is normalized. It's insane that we have someone 6 inches taller than everyone else in the league at the age of 22, leading his team through the Western Conference on both ends of the floor. Bro is more of an anomaly than the Aurora Borealis. I've heard people explain to me how that happens, the Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis. They're always like, it's a reflection of light particles and with the way that the curve of the Earth and the magnetic poles meet. No, you don't know what it is. What the crap is that? Any scientist who's like, I can explain the Aurora Borealis to you. No, you can't. You want to know why you can't? Because you don't even know when it's going to happen. You could go up there, wherever it is, and be like, all right, here we are. We're here to see it, and it just doesn't happen. There's so many external factors that have to happen for the lights to light up green, for them to dance before you. How are we not concerned about that? No one cares about the fact that parrots can talk. Apparently, octopuses are the smartest animal on the planet. Dolphins be speaking to each other with echolocation just like bats do. And there's green lights in the sky above the North Pole. What is happening? How? That's all I need to know. I just want to know how. And the truth behind it is we actually don't quite know exactly what is happening up there. It's a dance. It is a party of particles happening at the Northern Pole that we have no idea how to truly scientifically describe. The Aurora Borealis by Zeke Vini. What other sports show is talking Northern Lights today? Yo, the Northern Lights would be a good team name. You know how they're putting the A's in Vegas? They're going to need a new team name for that team in Vegas. I think we might have a contest of the day, maybe. I think we might have a new contest of the day. It'd be involving AI, though. Let's do it later tonight. I think tonight's contest for our show tonight, our creative contest of the day, we got to figure out what the Athletics, the baseball team that's going to Las Vegas, what their team name is going to be, and then we also need to create logos for them, maybe uniforms as well. We can figure that out as we go. What's happening with Victor Wembanyama is unbelievable. Okay? The entire game plan for the opponent revolves around stopping Wemby on offense and finding a way to score on him on the other end. There is no other name on the scouting sheet. He gets every bit of attention in the game plan and execution, but even then, it's not enough to slow this guy down. As insane as this sounds, I don't think it's too early to say that barring any career-altering illness or injury, Victor Wembanyama will go down as the greatest basketball player of all time. The GOAT. That debate is something every hoophead loves to talk about, but the two men involved seem to want nothing to do with it. You know, Jordan the other day was asked about it, and he said rings should not matter when discussing who is the best of all time because it's a team game. It takes an entire collective effort to win, not just one guy. So if we're going to listen to Jordan and just go based off stats, then it's clearly LeBron. LeBron has the all-time points. He has every single record in the postseason. If we're going to listen to Jordan and say rings don't matter, then obviously LeBron is the GOAT. But if that's the case, then why is the King still ring chasing? Jordan saying rings don't matter might be true for him, but not for the fans. To be the GOAT, it must come with championships and statistics, as well as longevity at the top. Victor Wembanyama is 22 years old and has another 15 years at least to stake his claim. I really do not think it is too much of a stretch to assume and project out that over the next decade plus, we're going to be talking about Victor Wembanyama in that conversation with Jordan and with LeBron. There are many things that he has to do to get to that mountaintop. He's got to win rings. He's got to have longevity. He's got to win MVPs. And he's got to have the stats to back it all up. Right now, it feels like, and MJ said his only argument doesn't count. Basically. I think it should be a Pittsburgh NBA team one eventually. Let's do it. It's Santa throwing a party. I absolutely love that, Oreo. He's already the best defender in the league and an unstoppable force on the offensive end. The last time we had a star this good on both ends of the floor was Kawhi Leonard in 2019, and Wemby already feels better than that version of the Claw. Every week, there's a new byline on ESPN saying, Victor Wembanyama is the first to ever blank. Fill it in. First to ever get 15 blocks and 30 points and shoot 47%. Whatever it is, he's always doing something that nobody's ever done before. Every single week, there's a new record broken by Victor because we've never seen someone be able to shoot and handle the ball with that frame. Also, no one has ever played defense the way that he plays defense. He's the best defensive player I've ever seen in my life. He's 22 years old. He's doing things that we have never seen before on the basketball court almost every time he steps on it. If he wants to be, he will be the greatest player to ever play in the NBA. But what Victor is doing is not just greatness. It's actually a massive, massive problem. As someone whose favorite team resides in the Western Conference, the idea of hope is a far off destination that seems like a fool's errand. Not only has OKC built the most insane team ever assembled, all while not even using all of their talent, there's also an alien in black and silver terrorizing opponents into submission. It is very hard for me to imagine a world where the West is not won by one of those two teams over the next decade. You have a Serbian bear in Denver that is the greatest all-around offensive talent we maybe have ever seen, a Herculean Adonis type in Minnesota that lives for the moment, and a magician in Los Angeles that can score from anywhere on the court whenever he wants. Also, the greatest shooter to ever exist is just chilling up in the Bay, waiting for a squad to come his way, and there's plenty of teams loading up with picks and young talent. The conference is a grueling gauntlet of superstars and success everywhere you look. As long as you aren't looking in New Orleans. I'm very, very close to just making an executive order for TBWZ, and we're just getting rid of the New Orleans Pelicans. Why do we have them? Why do they still exist? What have they done? They add no value to the NBA. None at all. The only thing they're good at doing is drafting okay players and then trading them off somewhere else. The New Orleans purely exists to be the third team in a 3-team deal that gets all of the scraps that nobody else wanted. New Orleans is such a sad basketball town. Bro, I don't even know why they have a team. New Orleans is an awesome city. That is a football town through and through. I love that they have the Saints. The Saints are never leaving, okay? There's no point in them having a basketball team. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's a place and a destination purely to go and waste away. I have never seen them do a single impressive thing my entire life. Have they ever... Have they made the playoffs one time in the past decade? That team and that organization is so awful. They don't even draft well. They don't make good moves. They don't do anything right. I've never once seen a move from New Orleans and been like, hey, they might be pretty good next year. No, they traded away Anthony Davis to get Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, Josh Hart. None of those guys are on that team anymore. None of those guys are on that team anymore, and none of those guys turned into anything for them. They didn't flip them for picks to go get great players. They got Zion at number 1 because they were that awful. What is happening to my television? Who's doing this? Which one of you is controlling my TV right now? I honestly think that we should give the Pelicans to Pittsburgh or to St. Louis. You know, we're talking about expanding right now. How can we possibly expand to 32 teams when there's a Brooklyn Nets that exist, a Washington Wizards that exist, and a New Orleans Pelicans that are out there? Dude, I watched them play. They got Herb Jones out there. They've got some young talent. There's some young guys where I'm like, all right. DeJounte Murray, okay. Zion when he's healthy, They've never once done anything impressive in my entire life. I don't know why New Orleans has a basketball team. And I feel bad for the fan that's getting mad at me right now, but dude, what have you done to deserve a team? You've never done anything successful. The only thing you exist to do is like help other teams be good. Jeremiah Fears is good. Yeah, Jeremiah Fears is good. The Kings, though, have pedigree. The Kings have been around. They've had good teams. They've done good things. They took the Warriors to Game 7, the year the Warriors won the finals. Like, I've seen the Kings be good at basketball. The Kings gave Kobe some run for his money back in the day. Every single franchise in the NBA has at least had one moment in the past decade where I'm like, all right, they deserve to be a franchise, except for New Orleans. Love the city, love the people. Shout out to Nola. But you don't deserve a basketball team. Your team absolutely stinks. It's not even your fault. It's your owner's fault. There's so many different faults. Didn't that team move from Charlotte to New Orleans and then they started Charlotte again? Am I mistaken there? That your history is so strange. Everything about you is strange. The Pelicans is a dumb name. Your logo is stupid. Your color scheme sucks. Red, white, blue, and gold? Dude, it's the most pewter thing I've ever seen in my life. You are like a team designed for old folks to be like, that's a good-looking team. I like the Pelicans. You're designed and like fabricated to lose basketball games. How are we expanding to 32 when we have New Orleans? I'm just sick of mediocrity. I'm an Angels fan. So I've been living in mediocrity for my team forever. But dog, we at least have a World Series and been around since 1960. We're top 10 in attendance every year. Like, there are legit fans that have been here for a long, long, long time. I don't think anyone in New Orleans actually cares about that basketball team. And if you do, bro, shout out to you. I appreciate you. I love you as a fan. But, dog, your team absolutely stinks out loud. You guys suck. Nola's a team that I fear will never be close to winning it all. Unlike my team, who was right on the doorstep of greatness. Blorp loves Queens. Queen, she's a killer. Queen, dynamite and a laser beam. I don't like that band. I don't like Queen. I'm out on Queen, the band. They're just so goofy. You know what I mean? It's just too much pomp. I want my rock and roll to sound like rock and roll. You know? Not like, I don't want my rock and roll to sound like it just got a clean shave and like a Brazilian wax. You know what I mean? I think it's just the Freddie Mercury effect. He's just such a fruit that it just comes out in the music. They have some good songs. Like, don't get me wrong, Queen has some bangers in there. But, like, We Will Rock You sucks. We Are the Champions, that song sucks. Bohemian Rhapsody, that song absolutely stinks, dude. No one actually is, like, flipping through their Spotify and, like, I'm going to put on a good song right now. Oh, I'm going to put on Bohemian Rhapsody. No one's ever in their life put that on. Just like that, ah-pa-ta-pa-ta. No one's ever put that song on. That song just played. The powers that be were just like, you're going to like this song. Like, what? No, I'm not. Well, we're going to put it in all the commercials. We're going to play it in every single mall in America. You're going to hear it absolutely every day. Everywhere you go, you're going to hear this ah-pa-ta-pa-ta song. No one has ever once gone on Spotify or Apple Music and been like, Mom, can you put on ah-pa-ta-pa-ta? Why on, what, like, how? Who decides that? Who is up there like, this is going to be the song that all the people listen to right now? We're going to just put this everywhere. It's so unfair. Dude, I feel like every day there's like amazing hits that get made that no one will ever listen to because small independent artists do not get the love that they deserve. These labels and marketers and all these brands decide to put the new Bruno Mars single as like their hit song of their new commercial that was written in a lab by AI scientists and Chinese robots. And like, they're going to love this song. Ah-pa-ta-pa-ta. And everyone's like, I've never played that one time. I've never ever sought that song out, but I've heard it a million times. What is it? It's because Bruno Mars was in Opt. Hunter Metz is great music. I don't even know who that is. Nola was the Hornets, went to Charlotte and became the Bobcats, then moved back to New Orleans and became the Pelicans, and then the Charlotte Hornets just popped back up. I mean, what a horrible, horrible history that you have. Awful, awful history in New Orleans. Ah-pa-ta-pa-ta. I don't know what I'm doing there. Hey, that song sucks. But I hear it all. Don't you wanna, baby? I know all of the lyrics. I know all of the melody because it's played everywhere. No sane human being has ever gone on Spotify and been like, oh man, what should I put on? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put on that ah-pa-ta-pa-ta song. What? It's so stupid. I don't get it. I guess that's why I'm not in charge. Again, I know Noah Kahan is big, but like he's still underrated. Noah Kahan like makes good music. He makes guitar music. He's a songwriter. He writes from the heart. I know he attempts to write hits and stuff like that, which is where I think the artist kind of loses themselves. And the music, the moment. Sorry. That song, who is it? Is it Bruno Mars and someone else? Why are we still having Bruno Mars make music? Isn't he 50 years old? Why is Bruno Mars still like leading the top charts? I don't get it. My friend the other day, I was like talking about Katy Perry. And he's like, I don't know a single Katy Perry song. And I just started like singing Katy Perry songs. And he's like, oh, I know every single one of these songs. We named like 20 songs and he knew every single one of them. But I've never once have I went on Spotify and gone like, let's see what Katy Perry's been up to recently. Deep dive in her discography. No, they, whoever they are, the powers that be pulling all the strings are just like, this is the music you're going to listen to now. Let me find the music I want to listen to. You know what I mean? That's why I only listen to like old stuff. I only listen to Oasis and classic rock. I only listen to like older rap or stuff like that because it's so good. And I'm not going to be influenced by the powers that be, even though as much as I try to avoid current day pop, it's still being thrown in my face left and right, and I know all the lyrics to ah-pa-ta-pa-ta. That song sucks so bad. What's it even called? Ah-pa-ta-pa-ta? A-H. I'm trying to write this down for my clip. A-H, ah-pa, P-A, ah-pa-ta, T-U-H. Ah-pa-ta-pa-ta. Is it A-H-P-A-T-U-H-P-A-T-U-H? Ah-pa-ta-pa-ta? It's just called APT? No. No, it is not. APT is a Korean drinking game and the other person of the song is Korean? What? It's called Apartment? I've always thought it was short for Blorb, great minds, brother, thinking alike. Ah-pa-ta-pa-ta. Whatever. You know, everyone today is doing the whole where is LeBron James going thing in the world of sports. And I just want to quickly dispute a few things that I have heard from around the world of sports media. A lot of people I've heard saying that LeBron James' time in Los Angeles was not a success. People who are saying this do not truly value the difficulty of winning a championship and being able to construct a roster to win in the Western Conference. One chip is enough to say that said player was successful for that team. I don't care how long they were there. You win a chip, you were successful in your time there. We won the thing in 2020. The next season, Jokic became the greatest player to ever exist. Steph and the Warriors completely retooled. Ant became Superman. OKC made a deal with the devil. And yeah, the Spurs won the only lottery that truly connotes the name by landing the greatest prospect in NBA history outside of the king himself. The West was stacked when LeBron came over from Cleveland, and it only got better once he got here. Jaylen Brown has been in Boston for 10 seasons. He's been in the finals twice and even won a championship. Is that not a successful run with the Celtics? In my opinion, it really doesn't matter how many times you lose. It matters how many times you won. And it only takes one ring to say your time there was successful. And LeBron's very much has been. Also, before LeBron came to Los Angeles, the Lakers were in a very rough spot, bro. We had no identity or no juice and surely lacked talent post Kobe Bryant. I mean, at that time, our best player was probably Brandon Ingram or Julius Randle. We were in a very rough spot, and LeBron came over and made sure LA stayed on the map. He came to our team and built us up to a championship pedigree and delivered a ring. He paved the way for Luka Doncic to show up and put the city of LA back on top. What more could you ask for? The king came and the king delivered. But will he be doing that in LA again next season? A lot of people are saying LeBron is going to go to Cleveland. Been hearing that one. I totally get the idea of him going back home to Cleveland and doing one last dance where it all began. He got them one, but to do it again a decade later, man, that'd be something we have never seen before. They have a team built to win, but the addition of James Harden was supposed to be that final piece. Hey, brother, James is awesome, and I think he's truly an underrated superstar, but he's no final piece. This team lacks identity and structure, and I think that there's no better person to provide that than LeBron James himself. The reason he's not going to Cleveland, though, is because he doesn't want to move back to Cleveland. His family would not be moving with him. He has a 12-year-old daughter here that's in school in Los Angeles. His kid is in Arizona. His son plays for the Lakers. His entire business is in LA. So his family would not be moving with him to Cleveland. So at 42 years old, he'd essentially be home alone all day. At the age of 42, being home is a massive priority for LeBron James. One of the only things that I've heard from credible sources in the NBA about LeBron James next year, he has one thing that really hangs him up. He doesn't like traveling anymore. He doesn't like these long 2-week road trips away from his family. He wants to maximize as much time as possible being with his kids and being with his wife. Moving across the country to play basketball for a team that's on the doorstep of the finals, I don't think that does it for LeBron James. That's also a huge reason he's not going to New York either. Listen, man, KD got flamed so hard for joining Golden State to the point that Durant was never the same. Sports media and fans across the world went so hard on KD that I legitimately think it altered the way he views the world. I don't think LeBron is taking his talents to New York is going to do. I don't think LeBron taking his talents to New York is going to do really anything for his legacy. Which leads me to my main point here. LeBron doesn't have to do a thing for his legacy. The man said himself post-game, after getting swept by OKC, a reporter asked him, "What more do you have to give to this game? You've done so many things. You're the all-time leader in points, in scoring, in wins, in games, in playoff wins, everything. You are all-time in every stat that matters, LeBron. What more do you have to give or prove to this game?" He very plainly said, "Nothing. Nah, I'm good. I've done it all." In his mind, his legacy is cemented. If you're out here thinking LeBron has not done enough to cement that legacy as the greatest to ever do it, you must be a very, very tough person to please. He is number one in every single statistical category that matters and owns nearly every playoff record imaginable. He has nothing left to prove. So the real question is, why would he even play another year? He's already the oldest to do it. He's already playing unbelievable basketball at 41 years old, something we never thought was going to be possible. He's legit had, in his 23 seasons, 3 different Hall of Fame level careers. Throughout his time in Cleveland, throughout his time in Miami, throughout his time back in Cleveland and in LA. He's had arguably 3 Hall of Fame seasons in his one career. So if he has nothing left to prove to himself, nothing left to prove to the game, nothing left to prove to his family or his friends or the people that watch him play, why would LeBron even play another season of basketball, right? If his main priority is being close to his family and being around them and being in their life as much as possible, providing as a husband and a father, and you are comfortable with your legacy, and you feel like you have nothing left to prove to the game, playing another basketball season, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But the man still got gas in the tank. We saw him play basketball this year. He looked good doing it. LeBron looked darn good all season long. There was not a single moment that he looked 41. Maybe at the end of that last game when he looked a little bit tired. But other than lethargy and the fact that he's dealing with sciatica, nothing that he did this season made me think like that's a 40-year-old man. If anything, I saw a player that could play a lot more years after this. But, what's up, TK? The reason LeBron plays another season is because he has an opportunity to win another championship next year with the Los Angeles Lakers. I legit think LeBron could play probably 5 more seasons. I do. I think he has these skills right now to play another 5 years. Why not? Usually when we see a guy start to decline, we're like, oh, not looking as good as he once was. And they play 2 or 3 more years, and they're like, just slowly kind of drop off. I haven't seen the drop off from LeBron yet. It wasn't this year, so what? Is it going to be next year? Is it going to be 2 years down the road? Do you see him being a guy that just plays till the wheels fall off? Or do you see him being a guy that kind of gets out before things get too bad? Even if you do. If they don't make LeBron travel, which is a crazy, crazy statement, it'd be the gnarliest load management ploy of all time. But if the Lakers say, LeBron, you could play in all the home games and just don't travel with the team, he could play another 5 years. Even if they say, LeBron, no more back-to-backs, okay? We're going to really, really, really limit your minutes. We're going to load manage you throughout the entire regular season. And you're just going to be there when we need you most. LeBron can play another 5 years, dude. Now, are they going to let him do that? I do not know. I don't see why he did everything he needed to do. I don't see why he did everything he needed to do. Oh, why would he play another season? He broke records and won rings. He doesn't need to do anything else. TK, he doesn't. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out. There's a guy who's cemented his legacy from what he says about himself and what the media and the world thinks about him. He's won rings. He's won MVPs. He's made $1 billion. He's done everything he needs to do to cement his legacy as the greatest of all time. And if not the greatest, then the second. Why would he play another year? Because he's lying. He's lying to you. When LeBron says he has nothing left to prove, brother, that's a load of horse hockey. He's got a lot left to prove. He wants to get that 6th ring. He wants to tie Michael Jordan. He even wants to get 7. Could you imagine what it would be like for him to get 7 and clearly cement himself as better than Jordan? Him saying he doesn't have anything left to prove to himself, he might not have anything left to prove to you and me, but he's got some things deep down inside of himself that he still wants to prove to himself, that he could still do it. He's the greatest to ever play past 40. We know that. But he's the greatest to ever score. He's the greatest in all playoff metrics and all categories and all records. But he doesn't have more rings than Michael Jordan. I think he wants it. I still think that deep down he wants that. Even more than passing Jordan, I think LeBron wants his very last game to be an NBA Finals win. He wants the storybook ending. Jordan wasn't able to do it. Brady wasn't able to do it. Gretzky wasn't able to do it. Those guys fought so hard to make their very last game a Super Bowl win, and they weren't able to accomplish it. A bunch of people said after 2020, he should have retired on top. Bro, 5 years later, I'm like, I'm so glad he didn't. 6 years later. 6 years later, I'm so glad he didn't. Michael Jordan played till he couldn't no more, but Michael Jordan went back out there to try to have that fairy tale ending. I think LeBron, more than anything, just wants to have his last NBA game be an NBA Finals win. The only way he gets that done is if he stays with the Los Angeles Lakers. And here's why. The Lakers are in a really, really, really good spot because they have a superstar, Luka Doncic, that has proven to be enough to get a team to the finals. That is the biggest piece of the puzzle, and Los Angeles has already got that one under control. The next step for this offseason is surrounding Luka with young, athletic talent. He has only 4 rings, plus he ties with Steph Curry with rings. Yeah, he needs 5 and 6. Luka Doncic. All right. This might sound a little bit stupid, okay? Basketball is about 2 things, fellas. Putting the ball in the hole and stopping the other team from putting the ball in the hole. That's it. The goal of the game is to score more points than the other team. You do that 2 ways. You do that by scoring, and you do that by defending. So those are the 2 aspects of basketball that we're going to focus on right now when we're fixing the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? And you can take this philosophy to your team as well. This is patent pending, but until that patent comes through, you can use this philosophy. Score, defense, okay? I should be a coach. Y'all, I got a baseball game in a couple minutes. Wish me luck. Let's go, Wario. Can't wait to hear how it goes on the post-game show. Luka Doncic will handle the scoring side. I don't have to worry about offense, really. J.J. Redick is a fantastic coach, especially on the offensive end. And Luka Doncic is enough to carry the brunt of the scoring. We saw in Detroit this year, Cade Cunningham was obviously carrying the load of all the scoring, but we were like, I don't know if he has a second option. And Cade kind of needed a second option. Every great scorer does need one, but it's a lot easier, I think, to find a second option for a guy like Luka Doncic who can put up 35 points a game than it is to find a second option on defense. That made no sense. The scoring side for the Los Angeles Lakers for next season, I think, is taken care of. You don't have to worry about surrounding him with offensive talent. A lot of people are talking about, bringing in a new point guard, bringing in someone that can score. Bringing in a 5 that could be more versatile than DeAndre Ayton. I don't worry at all about bringing in more offensive talent to this Lakers team, okay? It's the last thing that we need. With that, I think one of the best moves that Los Angeles could make is not re-sign Austin Reeves, okay? Austin Reeves is a cone on defense. He's not good at defense. And we already have Luka Doncic out there who is not terrible at defense, but he's nothing great. And if anything, he spends most of his energy on the offensive side of the floor rather than the defensive side of the floor. The last thing that a team should do is pair a guy like Luka, who's defensively challenged, with a player who's even more defensively challenged just because that guy can score. In the West, you have guard play from J-Dub and SGA over there. You've got Anthony Edwards. Jamal Murray's over there cooking. You have amazing guard play in the Western Conference. If you roll out Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic to defend their 1 and 2, it's not going to go very well. I know having Marcus Smart on this team helps a ton, and that's the reason we have Marcus Smart. It's not to score, it's to play defense. We celebrate Marcus Smart, and we're bringing him back. I would love to bring Marcus Smart back for that reason, but the idea of keeping Austin Reeves with Luka Doncic, it just feels like we're taking a huge hit defensively to improve ourselves offensively, and I don't think we really need to improve much offensively. We're not going to get anything for Austin Reeves, right? That's the part that stinks. He's an unrestricted free agent, so it's not like we can just trade him away and get picks for him or get a player to be named, right? The only option we could really do is sign and trade him. I don't know if Austin's going to want to do a sign and trade. The only way it makes sense for Los Angeles is if he does a contract for $30 million a year over 3 years, okay? If you do a 30 over 3. It's the only way it makes sense for LA. Austin can go get 40 somewhere else. Bro, New Orleans can pay him $50 million. He's a good enough offensive talent. He was on track to be an all-star this year before he got hurt. He's a good enough offensive talent to really be a top scorer in this league. He's going to want $40, $50 million. The Lakers cannot pay him that. If they do, our season is pretty much shot. Because you have a $60, $70 million Luka Doncic there. To pair him with a $50 million Austin Reeves, I mean, that's over half of your salary cap right there with those two guys. I don't think we could I don't think we should sign Austin Reeves. That is point number one I'm making for the Los Angeles Lakers. As much as I love Austin, I don't think he should be the guy. Now, if we decide that he's going to be the number 2 to Luka Doncic, that's a whole different discussion. I hear you, and I like that, but we would have to surround them with like Asar Thompson and Amen Thompson and Rudy Gobert to be able to stop the offenses that are coming at you in the West. I think it is more imperative for us to sign defensive talent rather than pay Austin Reeves to shoot hoops, okay? The guys who I do think we should re-sign is Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura, and Marcus Smart. Rui and Marcus Smart are bona fide starters, and they play great defense, and they add to the offensive end, especially Rui. Marcus Smart handles the ball. I want Luka Doncic coming off ball. He's so ball dominant, and he's so good at handling it, but every single like true hooper in the NBA is better coming off ball. Steph Curry. You think of Steph Curry as a point guard? I do too. And his position says PG, but who handles the ball for Golden State? Draymond Green. Draymond Green brings the ball up. Steph Curry runs like in a hamster wheel around the entire defense, pops open in the corner, shoots a 3, and makes it. Cade Cunningham is better for the Pistons when he's not handling the ball, when Dennis Jenkins is in handling it, okay? Look what happens when James Harden handles the ball for Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell puts up 40 points a game. Handling the ball for a team is not an easy thing to do. It takes away from your ability to score if you're also worried about facilitating the rock. Having Marcus Smart on the team provides great defense at the 1, and it allows Luka Doncic to come off ball. Luke Kennard needs to be signed to this team because he's an unbelievable three-point shooter. I think we gave him a ton of confidence. He's the first free agent to really come here and then be able to shoot threes. I think he likes it here. I think JJ Redick sees a lot of himself in Luke Kennard. I think he's not very good at defense, but he's a great sixth man off the bench. The guy that could go in and give you some buckets and hit some big threes if you need it. Luke Kennard is a great guy to bring back to this team. I also don't think he's going to be too expensive. Rui Hachimura, the price went up. Like it's GBP. The price goes up if it's USD. That's what it is. Phone lines will be open after the power hour, fellas. You can call in with your hot takes and all that stuff. Can't wait to hear it. This team is going to sign Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura, and Marcus Smart. And then we really need to go and get a true 5 rebounding defensive presence at the 5 spot in free agency. You have to understand that you're building a roster not just to like be good. We're not making some random 2K roster, okay? We're building a roster to beat the Spurs and to beat OKC. The way you beat the Spurs is by having a 7-footer that can defend Wemby. The way you beat OKC, I actually don't know. If you guys have any suggestions on how to beat OKC, please let me know. But the way that the Pacers did it last year, which was the last team to beat OKC in the playoffs, was the Pacers last year. They did it with a ton of defense. They did it with depth. You cannot beat OKC with 7 really good players. You need 10 because they have 12. They have a rotation of 12 guys. Bro, they have lottery talent on their bench that don't even play, that get DNP'd every night. Guys that would start on other teams in the league. Sitting on their bench, not doing anything. J-Dub, their second leading scorer, goes out. Don't miss a beat. Here's A.J. Mitchell. SGA was out for like 20 games during the regular season. I think they were like 18-3 in that stretch. They are so deep. The way that you beat OKC is with depth, which is exactly what the Pacers had last year. Every time they were bringing in a new guy, whether it was Nembhard or Manthurian or McConnell or Siakam or Turner or Halliburton, the list goes on and on and on of all the talent that they had, they were able to combat OKC. Because what happens when your stars sit down to rest, their stars sit down to rest, you bring in scrubs, they bring in a legit playoff team. Off the bench. They platoon in a play-in team, at least. You have to have great depth to beat those teams. So to beat OKC, you need a true 5 rebounding center that can play great defense on Wemby. And then to beat OKC, you need depth. Lakers do not have either of those things. So to solve the true 5 part, it's going to sound so dumb, but there's a couple of free agents that I had my mind on, and all of these free agents I'm looking at, I'm trying to get under $15 million. I think you need to surround this team with $15 to $20 million guys, rather than having a 70, a 50, a couple of 40s, and then like 7 10s. Surround $20 million guys around Luka Doncic. Guys that are good basketball players, that would start everywhere, but are willing to come off the bench on a championship team. There's 3 names I'm looking at for that 5 spot, okay? Jonas Valanciunas. Not going to do a whole lot on the offensive end, but he's going to rebound a lot and he's going to play good defense. What up, Adam? Luka is not a winning player? Okay, get out. Adam, get out. He's a selfish... And he gets injured a lot, and he's not a leader. Adam, get out! Z9 said, can we talk about Detroit? Cannot wait to get into some Detroit talk once I finish up on the state of the Lakers. I have a little sneak peek for you, bro. I'm doing my top 10 players of the postseason so far. My updated top 10 playoff performers on the screen right now. Number 1, I got Cade Cunningham. And to give some Detroit a little bit more love, bro, I got Tobias over there at the 9. We can discuss back and forth on what we have there, but let me just finish up on my team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Also, Z9, in about 10 minutes, I'll be going live on TikTok, talking ball and taking calls and stuff like that. So if you want to call in about 10 minutes and talk about your team, I cannot wait to do so. Jonas Valanciunas, Batatse. I saw him play some really valuable minutes for Orlando. He's not going to be your starting center, but he's a great backup center. Batatse would be a great addition, great rebounder, great defender. And then Paul Reed. Paul Reed is a guy that I watched play basketball for the past couple of years. The dude has an absolute motor. He's a rebounding machine. He's good offensively. He's not the tallest center. I think he's around the 6'9", 6'10 range. But he can absolutely give you 20 good minutes on the floor and rebound and play great defense. Speaking of defense, this is going to sound so crazy. I think the Lakers need to go after Dillon Brooks. I know. Dillon Brooks is an unrestricted free agent. I think he'd be a great addition to this team. Another one that I love seeing is Keldon Johnson. You know, the Spurs are going to have to pay a lot of guys, and I think a lot of these guys are going to dip. Another team that has to pay a lot of guys, OKC. You know who's an unrestricted free agent is Lou Dort. If the Lakers find a way to get Lou Dort and Dillon Brooks on this team, and potentially a guy like Keldon Johnson, surround him with a Valanciunas or a Paul Reed, and re-sign Kennard, Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, and LeBron James comes back on a vet minimum, and you have Luka Doncic, brother, I think I did it. I think I just fixed the Los Angeles Lakers. Dillon Brooks on this Lakers team would be absolutely hilarious. And I'm going to be taking about a 5-minute break in just a second, but before we do that, let's jump into my top 10 playoff performers of the postseason thus far. When I go live on TikTok, I have the graphic of this up above my head, and then it's me underneath. And then the chat just comes in and absolutely eviscerates me left and right. So Z9, if you like seeing me get absolutely eviscerated by the chat, TikTok is the place to go coming up in about 5 minutes. Also, thanks for watching the show and following along. Skip Lou, kick Ad Brooks. Yeah, I know what you're saying. At number 1, I have Cade Cunningham. He's averaging 29, 5, and 7, 44 from the field, 40% from 3. He leads the league in points and in minutes. I know a lot of people are going to talk about the turnovers, but bro, when you're on the floor as much as Cade Cunningham is, and you handle the ball as much as he does, you're obviously going to accumulate turnovers. Cade Cunningham has been the best player in the playoffs, and I think you're going to have a lot of voters' remorse for the people who voted for SGA to be the MVP. SGA took a big step up, I think, in the public eye against the Lakers because he didn't really do much and he didn't shoot a ton of free throws. Cade Cunningham has consistently been like my favorite player in the NBA this entire season, not named Luka Doncic. Cade has been unbelievable and he's carrying this team. Brooks over Lou? Lou Will? Who is Lou? Oh, I said Lou Dort. Why not both? Can we get both? Rui Hachimura at the 4. Valanciunas at the 5. Luka, LeBron, and Dillon Brooks. That team would rock. Nah, I don't know. The thing is, you just need so much depth. At number 2, Jalen Brunson. He's averaging 27, 3, and 6, 49% from the floor and 41% from 3. Dude, he's a scoring machine, and he's the king of New York right now. For me, they're playing some of the best basketball I've ever seen New York play, and for that reason, I got to give Brunson some love. At number 3, you got to put LeBron James, dude. 23, 7, and 7, 46 from the floor, 33 from 3, 6th in playoffs in total points, 9th in minutes, in total minutes in the playoffs, and he's 41 years old. He single-handedly got this Lakers team past a younger, healthier, better defensively Houston Rockets team. I said healthier. They didn't have Kevin Durant the whole time. What an idiot. What a bad take. I'm so sorry, guys. I suck. Bro, I'm not even joking. This is actually horrible. I don't even want to talk about this. Dude, I had an accident this morning in my pants. Yeah. I'm not even, I don't want to talk about it. I got Wemby at 4. He's averaging 20, 11 boards, and 2 assists. He's averaging 54 from the field. 36% from 3 is unbelievable, but his 4 blocks a game are which gets him up at number 4. He had a bit of a slow start to the playoffs. He's been very violent. He's been doing some UFC out there, throwing flying elbows left and right at our boy Naz Reid, but he's the most dominant thing to ever exist in the NBA, and he continues to do that in the postseason. Spider Mitchell at 5 should be way higher on this list, averaging 27, 5, and 3, 46 from the floor, 32 from 3. He's second in total points. I would have him much higher on this list if his team could win a road game. Detroit and Cleveland play tonight in what's going to be an epic showdown. The series is going back to Detroit for Game 5. This thing's tied up to a piece. I want to, deep within my bones, think that the Cleveland Cavaliers can win this game. I believe wholeheartedly, pure talent-wise, put it on the paper, they're the best team in the East. Just on paper. You have 4 dudes on there that are all legit stars. Donovan Mitchell is on his way to the Hall. So is James Harden. You have unbelievable talent on that team. A good coach in Kenny. You have solid depth. Dean Wade is a good player. You've got guys who are coming in off the bench like Schroeder, who can absolutely contribute, and Jalen Tyson's been great. This team is so good. They cannot win a road game, though. That, for me, is a sign of you're just not a very good basketball team. Like, you're an unserious basketball team. It feels more like an AAU team that a bunch of dads with really talented sons were just like, hey, my kid's good, your kid's good, let's be on a team together. And they teamed up and forgot how to play team basketball. It feels sometimes like it's their first time playing a game together. Now, last time I watched them play, of course, they were at home. They looked really, really good. They looked really good at home, as they usually do. My hopes get so high for this Cleveland Cavaliers team every time I watch them play a home game. And then they play on the road, and I'm like, oh, yeah, they stink. They don't play good team basketball. I think James Harden and Donovan Mitchell defer to each other. Donovan, last time he played, was like, all right, I'm going to drop 43 and have 1 assist. Literally, I think he had 2 assists in the game. He's like, I'm just not passing the ball. I'm over it. Sometimes Jared Allen is out there for 25 minutes and gets 4 rebounds. That can't happen. Sometimes Evan Mobley is out there for 35 minutes a game and ends up with 8 points. That cannot happen. This team has so much talent, but I just feel like they're devoid of identity. That's what I really feel about this Cleveland team. And so now they're playing in Detroit tonight. What's going to be an epic Game 5. Hopefully this one will go 7 because we haven't had a single one be very entertaining so far in this round 2. I believe in Cleveland on paper, but I do not believe them with my eyes. And as you know, Zeke Vini, I do the eye test, I go with my gut, I go with my balls. My balls are telling me Detroit's going to absolutely wipe the floor with them tonight. Me and Z9 are on the exact same page as we conclude the Power Hour. Fellas, I'm going to be taking a 5-minute break, and then we're going to be going live on TikTok for the next 2 hours, and YouTube and Twitch. We're staying here. We're staying here on Twitch and YouTube, but I'm also going live on TikTok. We're going to be talking ball and taking calls for the next 2 hours of this show. I'm going to finish my top 10 for those people and explain everything along the way. I also have some notes on Daryl Morey, the PGA Championship, the French Open happening at Roland Garros. I have my top 5 trade destinations for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and of course, a breakdown in the USC Trojans football schedule. Fight on, baby. I will see you guys in 5 minutes. How you doing, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from Tustin. Name's Nana.
Oh my gosh, Nana, how you doing? This is my grandmother. My grandmother's calling in the show. Guys in the chat, drop a Nana in the chat. Nana, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. I've got you, put you on at noon, and I've got you live in my living room.
Okay.
And I really like it, and you're doing a good job.
Good. Did you see the band person that we were talking about?
Yeah,
There you go. Everyone's dropping nanas all over the chat. This is awesome. People are loving it. And the TikTok guys, if you want to hear this conversation, I'm on the phone right now with my grandma. You can follow us over here on the other apps if you want to. So Nana, you are an avid sports fan. What's up, Lil C? So my grandma's on the phone right now. You're an avid sports fan, and one of my favorite things about you is your love for the Anaheim Angels, and that started when you were very, very young. Correct?
Very, very, very young. Yeah, right. And I do love those Angels.
And every single game, you listen to every game on the radio.
Yes, I do.
Is there a do you prefer it over the TV?
Oh, because I can't stand those two announcers on television. Okay. All they do is talk about fastballs, slow balls, any balls. I don't care about what went across the plate. I want to know more about the players themselves, a little bit of strategy into the game, and that. I don't care about those balls.
So you don't care that the guy's throwing a slider. You want to know that he grew up in Mission Viejo and he went to this high school and his mom worked at a church his entire life. You want to learn that stuff.
Some of that, but not all of it. But I'd like to learn some strategy, like why do they bunt the ball in some of the situations? You know, so they could share some strategy with the people that are listening on the radio. Yeah,
and correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, when baseball was first around, the only way to really get the games was on the radio. It took a while for you to be able to see all the games on television, correct?
Are we talking are we still talking Angels, or are we talking ancient history?
Well, so we'll talk all because the Angels started in the 60s, correct?
Yes.
So then what was like, you grew up in Denver and you guys didn't have a team. So what was your team before the Angels were around?
Oh, the New York Yankees. They were the top team back then. You know, they had some really key players there. They had Babe Ruth and those guys. And like I told you, we didn't see the scores on radio or television. Well, we didn't have TV, but at the schools, they would put out the big chalkboards and they would put the game on the chalkboards inning by inning, so we knew what the score was. And that was for the World Series.
So at school during the World Series, the teacher was like doing a live box score, so everyone knew what was going on?
That I don't know, because they just had the chalkboard placed outside, so when you went out for recess, you got the scores out there.
That's so cool. And it really was at that time, like baseball was America's pretty much like premier sport. Like everyone was a baseball fan, right?
Yeah, basically, yes, because all the games were mostly back east. And, you know, Denver didn't have anything. And it was, and like you said, it was baseball, the game to watch. And there was some basketball, but not like today. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons I love baseball so much, is because you always loved baseball. And you imparted that on me, and you got to watch me play a lot of baseball. Some of the guys in the chat, you know, I've told them that I was one of the best baseball players to ever exist in Orange County. I'm very humble about it. Can you just tell them how good?
Truly were.
There we go.
When you got out on that mound, I mean, hey, it was lights out. You know that.
There we go. Thank you, Nana. Do you have before we let you go? I mean, obviously you're probably hanging out today, having some fun, and we absolutely love that you're listening to the show. It really makes me so happy to know that you're listening along. Do you have a particular baseball memory? Being No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. There's like a strange delay happening right now that I'm not super happy about. But you know, we'll just roll with it. Z9 said you try to call in. What's the area code so I can take your call first once I open up the phone lines and I stop this horrible alarm from happening like a complete amateur would have. If you let me know, I will make sure to take your call first, brother. Are you 580? If you're 580, I got you, and I will take you up first. But as we do at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we go live on TikTok, brother. Let's get after it. Up there, I do have my graphic that I just explained to you guys, and you guys do have on there. I'm 580. Let's go, TK. Can I call after? Yeah, let me just give me a few minutes. TK, give me a few minutes. Give me just a couple minutes to get some people into the chat, and then I'll take your call first, TK. So I'll take you 580, and then Blorp, I'll take you. You're the 667, right? Actually, Blorp was here first. I'm gonna take Blorp first. Sorry, TK. I'll take you second. But I got you guys up on the list. So Blorp, I'll give you the signal to call, but just call in 4 or 5 minutes. Usually like to heat it up a little bit and let the people get into the chat and get mad at me, and then we go after it, because I do have my top 10 playoff performers of the postseason thus far. At number 1, like I said, for you guys, you already heard Cade Cunningham. You heard Brunson at 2. You got LeBron at 3, Wemby at 4, and Spida Mitchell at 5. For the remainder of the list, now things got a little bit haywire. And I'm slightly starting to regret putting Gobert all the way up at 7. I'm kind of doing this. Wemby over Braun. Shifty boy, you can go ahead and get out of here. Shea would be top 5. No, he shouldn't. You know what? You know what the top 5 is reserved for? Top 5 is reserved for guys who are carrying their team, and SGA is not carrying the Thunder. Nobody needs to carry the Thunder. The Thunder are deep enough that they don't have a superstar player that's just carrying the entire team. Take SGA off that team, I'm pretty sure they still sweep my Lakers, unfortunately. One little side note that no one has clued in on, I want to know if anybody's going to get the secret of this graphic. I feel like no one can see it. At 6 on my list, I do have the man himself, the zesty king of New York, Karl Anthony Towns. He's averaging 17, 10, and 7. His numbers are not as great scoring-wise as some of the other guys on this list. He's putting up 59% from the field and 49% from 3. The dude is efficient. He is not missing. And ever since he became the offensive focal point, they have not lost a game. Literally. Game 4, they switched the game plan from Brunson handling the ball and being the focal point offense to Karl Anthony Towns doing that and Brunson playing off ball. And ever since then, they have not lost. For that reason, I got to put Cat all the way up at 6. At 7, I do have Rudy Gobert. Listen. The Rudy Gobert one, Ethan said Cat is Jokic now. Brother, no. I care about you. I just care about you, dude. I can't have you saying those crazy things. I have Gobert at 7 mostly for what he did in round 1, okay? He's got 8 points a game, but 10 boards and 3 assists a game. A little over 2 blocks a game. He locked down Nikola Jokic in round 1. For me, Nikola Jokic is the best all-around offensive talent that we have in basketball. For that reason, you lock down that Serbian bear. I think you got to be in my top 10. Maybe 7 is a little bit high. But at 8, I do have Tyrese Maxey. Maxey averaged 24, 4, and 6 in his games played in the postseason. He's 4th in total points still. 2nd in total minutes, only behind Cade Cunningham. And he got through Boston. He didn't have Embiid for a few of those games. I don't think Philly advances past Boston if they do not have Tyrese Maxey, right? I know you could say the same thing about Embiid, but Tyrese Maxey was the heart and soul of that team, and without him, they don't get anywhere. At number 9, you got to give it up for Tobias Harris. Tobias is averaging 21, 8, and 1. In the past 10 games they played in the playoffs, I think he only has 1 game under 20 points. He's been a bucket, dude. Everyone said all year long, there's no true number 2 scoring option for the Pistons, and Tobias Harris was like, all right, bet. And he went out and is balling. I do not think Detroit is in this position right now where we're potentially talking to them as a legit team that contend for the finals if Tobias Harris is not putting up the numbers he is putting up the numbers that he is. Also, shout out to Duncan Robinson. At number 10, I have SGA, who's averaging 29, 3, and 7. He's shooting 51% from the field, 32% from 3. I had to put a Thunder on this list, and if you're going to put a Thunder, you got to put SGA. Blorp, call in. Listen, he's a great basketball player, but he's not carrying his team. You know what I mean? All the other guys on this list, I feel are adding a lot more value to their team than SGA is. I'm also a Lakers fan. Honorable mention to Scotty Barnes and Paolo Banchero. I didn't add anyone to the top 10 that did not make it to round 2. I think you have to at least make it to round 2 to get on my top 10 list. Scotty Barnes and Paolo Banchero did not, but they played unbelievable in round 1. Absolutely love what they were able to put out, and so I had to put them as my honorable mention list, Scotty and Paolo. Where is Ant-Man? Malik, where would you put Ant-Man? Where would you guys put Anthony Edwards? I'm serious. Because I was looking at all of the numbers today. I had Anthony Edwards in my top 10, and then I looked at the numbers, and I'm like, actually, I don't know if Anthony Edwards is having a top 10 postseason right now. You guys can let me know where you would put Anthony Edwards. If you want to call into the show, the number is 213-352-52. This is TBWZ Wide Screen Radio, and we're talking ball and taking calls. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Wide Screen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Blorp. Sorry about that.
Wow, Blorp, that was a terrible start.
That was awful.
Do you want to try again?
Let's restart.
All right, here we go. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Wide Screen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Blorp from Baltimore.
Blorp from Baltimore. Bro, it's so good to hear from you. How you doing, Blorp?
Good.
I absolutely love it. We're in the middle of some NBA stuff. We got some NFL schedule stuff coming out. Some MLB is popping off. Where did you want to start today?
As a Wizards fan, I think I know where I want to start.
Wow.
Draft lottery.
Draft lottery. Blorp is a Wizards fan. He's got the number 1 overall pick. And if you were smart, you would listen to my mock draft, which has Caleb Wilson going number 1.
Actually?
Why do you say it like that?
Everyone seems to be saying it's DeBonsa or Peterson.
I could see Darren Peterson being the best player in this draft, dude, because everyone's discrediting him, and I feel like this guy who's going like 3 or 4 is going to be an absolute beast. But Caleb Wilson, for me, just has like the highest upside. He might be a little bit more risky. I feel like A.J. DeBonsa is probably the safest move for Washington.
Yeah, I think that's the guy. There's going to be a lot of talk about, who are they picking? Are they going to trade back? I just don't think in the situation the team's in right now, I don't think they're going to trade back. I think they're just going to take AJ.
I agree, and you're a Wizards fan, so you've been a part of this thing for a long time. My one concern is, like, what makes us think that having a number 1 pick in AJ DeBonsta is going to, like, really take this team over the edge? Like, do you think this team is more than a play-in team next year?
This is the best they've been set up since they drafted Bradley Beal, along with they had got John Wall like 2 years before.
Yeah, but even that team was like an 8 seed at best.
They made the playoffs a few times. I don't think they ever made a conference final. They made the second round. Maybe they did make a conference final.
For me, if Anthony Davis plays 60 games and Trae Young has a good season, Alex Sarr takes a step up, Carrington, Keyshawn, if all those guys play well, like at most, I think they could be a 7 seed, maybe avoid the play and get a 6 seed.
I don't think that's at most, especially like, okay, if they were in the West, yeah, but this is a really, really weak East right now. And is there like any team that you really like? Is any of the teams remaining from the East actually going to win the NBA final? No. It's whoever in the West makes it is going to win. The Spurs, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, they're going to dominate whoever they face on the other side.
Yeah.
I just don't see any team in the East as that much of a threat, and there's not even like a good top, and then the middle's just really bad. I think if the Wizards have the scenario that you just went through, they could end up as a top 3 seed. And I don't think that's that crazy considering how bad the East is right now.
I hear you. I mean, I've been watching this Knicks team play basketball, and they've been unbelievably surprising. You're a guy who knows Knicks fans quite well. A lot of them in the chat right now are spamming L take at you, thinking that the Knicks cannot win the finals. Do you want to just put them to bed and let them know why their team stinks? Tell them off, Blorp.
It's just not close. It took an absolute miracle. Just every single game the Pacers were involved in last year was an absolute miracle. And that's how they managed to get it to Game 7.
Yeah.
That's how they managed to get it to Game 7. They couldn't even win it. It was kind of like the Blue Jays in baseball this year. But
okay. Dude, speaking of baseball, my Angels have lost 29 of the last 33 games that we've played against the Cleveland Guardians. So is that good or bad?
That's impressive.
It's impressively so bad.
Legitimately impressive.
Blorp, I got a bunch of calls coming in, so I got to let you go, brother. But God bless. Thanks for calling, and we'll talk soon, bro. Good luck in fantasy.
All right, talk to you.
Peace. Guys, a bunch of you are screaming at me saying Anthony Edwards should be on this list. Anthony Edwards is averaging 21-6-3 in the playoffs so far. 21-6-3. That is the worst statistically on this stat sheet outside of Rudy Gobert. In the regular season, he averaged 29-5-4. He's having a down postseason, guys. Anthony Edwards does not deserve to be on this top 10. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Blade.
This is Blade. Bro, dog, good to hear from you, Blade. How you doing, dog?
How you doing, bud? I want to start by that hot take with the Lakers that you were saying about. You guys should absolutely keep Austin Reeves. The reason why I say that, when LeBron James and Luka Doncic both got injured, right? He stepped up. He was hitting game winners back to back. So you have to keep Austin Reeves. That you can't
But
take him off.
At what price would you keep Austin Reeves? Would you keep him at $30 million a year? Would you keep him at 40? Would you keep him at 50?
I think he deserves. Like, he showed up when his star players were injured. He was like, "Fuck it, I'll take over the team." Excuse my language, but he'll take over the team.
Yeah.
But so for me, I think I'd keep him, at least give him $40 million. He deserves that at least. Now,
$40 million. Yeah.
I wouldn't take that $40 million from Austin Reeves at all. What I would suggest, though, Marcus Smart does play defense. However, DeAndre Ayton didn't do nothing to help y'all win that series.
No,
get rid of
terrible.
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Get rid of DeAndre Ayton. You could trade Jake and then Jackson Hayes, and then you could probably get a better defensive player that way. Maybe some picks.
I think it's about accumulating talent and adding depth to be able to beat OKC in the West. You know, we're talking about Luka, we're talking about Austin Reeves. Where does the King land next year? Do you think LeBron plays the Lakers next year, Blade?
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, he's got talent over there. He's got Reeves hitting threes. He's got a lot of passing and role players.
Sure.
And you got LeBron doing his LeBron things. I don't think he leaves. I don't see where he would leave.
Yeah, I mean, I think his best option to win championships next year would probably be retooling with Luka, but the given is he has to take the veteran minimum. If he takes the vet minimum, then we have a lot more wiggle room, but if he wants another $60 million contract, there's no way we can win with him. Blade, you are an OKC fan from Oklahoma. It looks like you're going to be getting a date with the Spurs. Does the fact that you guys went 1-4 against them in the regular season scare you at all?
Not at all, no. The regular season, this is what I put it. The regular season is like, oh, okay, that's the regular season. No one really cares. Playoffs is a different ball game. It's a different bracket. You're coming in. You're chasing a ring. You're playing for real.
Yeah.
Like, take the regular season, make it like you're going to a street ball game, you know?
Okay.
Like, oh, you're just playing for fun kind of thing. You go to the playoffs, you're going for money. Like, this is a ring. You're getting noticed by everybody. Like, this is why we do it, right? So if the Spurs play us, I done told my friends, too. I said, bro, we ain't losing. Y'all ain't going. We don't care.
I absolutely love it.
It's going to be a different ball game.
Blade, it's so much confidence. I absolutely love it. Dude, thank you for hanging out with us on Twitch. We're live on Twitch and YouTube an hour before we go live on TikTok, so we get to hang out and have some fun. But Blade, thanks for calling in. We'll talk soon, bro.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Peace. CD said if the Lakers had Luka, I see a Game 7 happening with OKC. I think we would have at least won a game. I mean, it's tough for me to go like all the way to like we would have at least gotten to 7. But you know what? Look, dude, has anybody noticed what I have on this graphic above me or down here if you're on Twitch and YouTube? Does anybody see the hidden message in the graphic? If someone's able to like find the hidden message, you can know exactly where my thoughts are on where this postseason went. LeBron back to the Cavs? Jay, I don't think he's going to go back to the Cavs personally, but it's an option. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Dominic. I'm in Minnesota.
Dominic from Minnesota. Brother, are you a fan of the Timberwolves?
Yes.
Dude, how come? Listen, the team is so good, right? And we love Anthony Edwards and we love the squad and they played great against Denver. Every time they lose, they get absolutely blown out.
I think Ant is doing so much that the team, like Julius Randle, he's scoring 11 points 12 points the whole series. So Ant can't always do everything. Someone needs to step up. We have the dude, I forgot his name, but he stepped up. We have people. It's just Ant can't do. Yeah,
Ayo and Jaden.
It's just Ant can't do everything by himself. It's his team sport. So
I think that's like partly. I agree with you. You cannot just be Superman. That's also kind of the game that he wants to play. He's not doing much facilitating.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a world where he could be passing more and he could be giving off some of the brunt of success onto other people, but he kind of just tries to take over and play hero ball.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like he has to in that series, and plus he's also injured too. So
yeah,
he's playing with an injury too, which is
True.
low. That's why I feel like he's dropping a little bit, like the points he's playing with the injury. But if Rudy plays well and everybody else plays, if Julius Randle plays good, I think we can beat the Spurs. I think we can beat the Spurs.
Yeah, you'd have to win 2 games in a row. I mean, for me, it comes down to like Rudy Gobert was so good defensively against Jokic. That's why I have him on this list. He hung up. I'll take that 914. Jacob Wave, you're up next. 914. Bro, Ant, we know it's you, bro. That was Anthony Edwards on the phone. That was him. Cade averaged like 7 turnovers a game. Ball nowhere. He plays the most minutes and he handles the ball for the team. So like that's like saying the quarterback has the most picks. Like he's the only guy throwing it. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling from?
Yo, Zach, it's Jacob from New York.
Jacob from New York, my guy. Can I get a bing bong from you?
Bing bong, baby, let's go.
I love it, bro. Tell me why Brunson should be at number 1 instead of Cade. I assume that's what you're calling in to tell me.
I mean, I just wanted to call in after the whole Sixers series played out. Man, that was easy work.
And I think what you're referring to. I think what you're referring to is I picked the Sixers in 7, and I have a graphic up right now on TikTok that says I was wrong about New York. Every single stretch of the way I was wrong, except for the first 3 games against Atlanta. Everything changed when they started running the ball through Karl Anthony Towns and letting Jalen Brunson play off ball. They've been unbelievable, dude. They're the best team in basketball right now, not named OKC.
Hell yeah. I mean, I called in after Game 3 of Atlanta, and I was like, yo, that's what we had to do. And I don't know if Mike Brown heard me. I don't know if he was tuning in, but that's what they did, and we've been playing great ball.
Yeah, famously, Mike Brown is a big fan of TBWZ. He likes to consume the content. He loves going live on TikTok himself. But yeah, bro, the team looks good. I have the graphic up right now that's like who has the best chance at beating OKC. It's got to be New York, right?
100%. I think so. I think the Spurs are a really good team, but I don't know if they're ready for this OKC team. Because even though we said that about OKC last year, we said OKC was too young.
Yeah, we did.
And look what they did. They won the championship. But
it's true.
I mean, they're a great team, so it's going to be tough to take down. But I think as long as they get taken down before in this Eastern or in this Western Conference Finals, if the Knicks were to make it to the finals, that would be a win either way.
I think so too. Dude, you're a New York fan. Stephen A. Smith is going crazy on First Take, saying that LeBron needs to go to New York next year. LeBron to the Knicks, is that something you foresee in the future, or is that just crazy talk?
I mean, it's in the cards, honestly. I know you're a Lakers fan, so it's tough.
Yeah.
I could see a retirement tour going with him, but if he wants to win, New York is the place right now. We're going crazy.
We're going crazy, bing bong. Any fear of Detroit at all? You guys were 0-4 against them in the regular season.
No, I'm not scared of that team, honestly. We dealt with them last year in the playoffs. They know how it is in the playoffs with New York. They're not even gonna. I'm not even worried about that. Like, come on.
Say it. They're not even going to win what? They're not even going to what?
They're not even going to win 1 game.
Oh! Dude, Jacob is a true New Yorker. He is bing bong all the way through. Dog, God bless. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk soon.
Oh, yeah, brother. Talk soon.
Peace. Blade, he's not wrong, though. Like, if we were to lose, the next would win. However, even if the Knicks play us, I'm not going to say that's too long of a chat. I hear what you're saying, though. I'm reading it right now in my head. The reason that I think the team that has the best chance to beat OKC is probably a team coming out of the East is because OKC is about to go to war with the Spurs. The Spurs are getting a very, very fresh OKC team that's only played 8 games. Dude, the last time OKC lost in the playoffs was like Game 6 last year in Indiana. The odds of them getting through the Spurs or the Wolves for me is pretty high, but they're going to come into the finals now beaten and battered, and whoever gets them out of the East I think is going to have like a little bit of a better time. Z9, I got a bunch of calls coming in, brother. Spurs winning this, it won't let me call. Maybe you're out of country. He's about to retire. No, he's not, brother. I don't think LeBron retires for a few reasons. I think LeBron, even though in his press conference he said he has nothing left to prove to himself or to 375 likes on TikTok is dude, so sad. So bad. He said he's got nothing left to prove. He has nothing left to give to the game. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He feels like his legacy is cemented. That's such a lie. You know LeBron is chasing Jordan. LeBron wants more rings. I legit think that LeBron could play another 5 seasons. Yeah, I said it. I think LeBron could play 5 more seasons if they don't have him travel. Only home games, stay in LA, never travel. Oh my gosh, fellas. On the phone right now, our friend Buffalo Bill.
What's up?
What's up, Billy? How are you?
I'm good.
Dude, our Lakers lost.
I know, right? That just makes me sad.
It makes us sad. Do you think OKC is going to run away with the finals, bro?
Nah. Give me Spurs.
You got the Spurs winning it?
If they beat the Wolves, I have the winning.
If they get through the Wolves, you have the Spurs winning the whole thing. Is that in the TBWZ bracket challenge?
No, actually. I don't know why. I just haven't done it yet. I know it's too late, though.
Yeah. Dude, the Buffalo Bills, your favorite team, are opening up a new stadium, a new Highmark Stadium. And it looks like you're playing the first game on week 2 against the Lions?
Yes, Thursday Night Football.
Is that a guaranteed win? Can you guarantee it right now?
No, it's not.
What?
If you go back to our 2024 matchup with the Lions,
okay.
Week 15, we won, though. It was like 42-48.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the point you made? I'm sorry. I think I missed the point. I heard the evidence, but I didn't hear the point.
That is not a guaranteed win.
Oh, there it is. Billy, are you on summer vacation yet?
Not yet.
Did I already ask you this? Do you have any fun summer plans?
Nothing really.
Maybe whip out the slip and slide?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill, I don't know why I think you have a good answer to this question. Before you go, brother, if you could only listen to one musical artist for an entire year or band, what musical artist or band would you choose?
That's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. Mine's the Beatles.
That's fair.
Yeah, thanks.
I have no idea.
You have 5 seconds. You have to choose.
Oh, damn.
5. 4.
I
3.
guess Drake.
Wow. Unbelievable. Bill calling in all the way from Buffalo. Brother, we love you so much. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Peace. Phenomenal breakdown, Billy. I'm telling you, that guy's a true legend. Buffalo Bill is also our NFL mock draft expert. So we're actually working on getting a press pass from the NFL. So we're going to be sending Bill to the NFL Combine next year. So he'll be live, boots on the ground. He's going to have to skip school. But he's our NFL draft expert. Chris said OG. Yeah, I would love to put OG Anunoby on this list. Last week I had OG all the way up at like 3. He missed the last couple of games, which kind of knocked him, but probably should still be on the list. Hindsight 2020, I feel bad about that one. I think 100% OG should be on the list. Hand up. I made a mistake. I'll cover his shift at school. Alan, perfect, bro. Alan, I can tell you're a good guy, bro. If you want to call in, let me know the area code so I could pick your call up. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Matt from Philly. I think I called a couple times before. I don't know if you remember.
You did. Matt from Philly hanging out with us. Bro, I have something I have to admit to you. In my monologue to start the show, I kind of called out Philly sports fans. Seeing the Knicks fans take over that arena and that team get swept in 4, and it seemed like the Philly fans just didn't want to show up, bro. It made me sad.
Yeah, honestly, it made me sad too. As you could see, the players after the game in the press conferences, they did mention that, like Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid before the series said, you know how New York travels, they're a traveling team with fans, especially around the area, like a city like Philly. They're always going to come. I don't know what we could do about that, but about the list. I'm not a Knicks fan, but where is OG Anunoby on this list?
Bro, dude, you are absolutely right. I think OG Anunoby has been the most consistent guy for that New York Knicks team. Last week, I had him all the way up, I think, at number 3. And then he got hurt, missed a couple of games, and Jalen Brunson took over. And I just got, like, deer in the headlights. I saw Jalen Brunson. I just got obsessed with it. You're right. OG Anunoby deserves to be on this list. I just, for the life of me, could not fathom putting 3 Knicks on this top 10 list.
You're right.
They don't deserve it.
You're 100% right. And another thing, if you don't mind, do you want to go back to that Sixers-Boston series?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so when I told you in the beginning of the series, when I said the Sixers are winning, I think in 6 or 7 games, I said, right? Yeah. I was fueled with being a fan of the Sixers more than reality.
Wow.
Deep down, I knew we might get kicked. We might get gentleman's sweep or win in 5, like it was your prediction.
Yeah.
But after we won that game 6, I knew something was going to happen.
Yeah. Dude, I also thought that Philly was going to do a good job against New York. I think we just saw a different team play against the Celtics than we did against New York. It felt like that team won their championship against the Celtics, and they were like, hey, we did it, guys. And then they got to New York and like, oh, we still have to play basketball? It felt like they forgot a second round was coming.
100% agree. And another thing, how is Gobert over Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards is not really having that good of a postseason. I mean, he's averaging 21, 6, and 3. He's in the regular season, he averaged 29, 5, and 4. So he had way better regular season numbers than he has had postseason numbers. I haven't been super impressed with Anthony Edwards, not going to lie. I feel like he's making a bunch of mistakes, and he's kind of trying to play hero ball in a league where you kind of need to like rely on those around you. And for me, he's honestly been kind of a detriment to the success of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Well, if you say that, then as much as it hurts to say it, then Maxey would be lower on this list because I have a feeling he just wants to take that shot so badly. Sometimes we just rush the play completely. He pulls from like way behind the 3-point arc.
Yeah, but Maxey still was shooting 46 from the floor, 35 from 3. He's 4th in total points in the playoffs, 2nd in minutes played. Like, he had a really, really impressive series against Boston. He was a walking 30-piece. Game 6 and 7 facing elimination, he put up 30 in both of those games. I think Maxey had a great postseason, and I think he's a huge reason you guys even got past Boston. Obviously, without Embiid, I don't know if it happens, but I think Maxey played really well. But I appreciate you being a logical fan and not just like leading with our hope and our cope. But Matt, brother, thanks for calling in. God bless. We'll talk soon.
All right, see you.
Peace. Do I think Harden gets 20 and Strus gets 10? Queen, I don't even know what you're talking about. OG has to be on there. Yeah, you're right, Crypt. I think OG was an oversight. Gobert's averaging 8. Make it make sense. He locked down Nikola Jokic in round 1, the best offensive player in the league. He absolutely neutralized that team. He's the only reason that this team is in the second round. If you notice on this list, it's a lot of guys that like I think if you take them off the team, they don't make it where they are. SGA's at 10 because you take SGA off that list, they still sweep the Suns and they still get past the Lakers. Maybe not in 4, but they still get past the Lakers without SGA. Minnesota is not playing right now if Gobert is not on that team. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Chase. I'm from Cleveland.
Chase from Cleveland. I absolutely love it, brother. Do you find yourself a Cavs fan?
Sadly, yeah.
Dude, it's so tough. I picked them at the beginning of it to win the entire thing because I think they're the most talented team in basketball potentially, and they just can't show up on the road. It seems like they're like an AAU team that just got thrown together and doesn't play team basketball.
So the list is messing up for me. At number 9, is that Tobias Harris?
You didn't respond to anything I said.
Oh, my fault. What'd you say?
All right, what do you want to talk about?
I just think Allen deserves a spot somewhere in the top 10.
Who?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen in the top 10?
I mean, he's had a phenomenal just presence in general over the past 6-8 games.
Did you purposely avoid saying 6-7 games?
I almost did by accident. I had to change it to 6 to 8.
I mean, Jared Allen's averaging 12 points a game and 7 rebounds, dude. He's a 7-footer. Like, 7 rebounds. There's some games where he goes out and only like gets like 4 rebounds, and I'm like, he's just a waste of space out there sometimes. Last game, he had 32 minutes on the floor, 9 points, and 5 boards.
Where he's needed most, in my opinion, is defense. For the rebounds, that's what we have Mobley for. He's there to play help for Allen, get any rebounds that fall to him. Allen's there to be the main presence in the defense, is how I feel.
I do like that a lot. I think I went with Gobert as like my one guy who's like pure defense, but I feel that with Jared Allen. Now, Chase, you are a fan of Cleveland. A bunch of people are saying LeBron might try to do his last dance there. How do you feel about LeBron coming back to the Believe Land?
I'd love that one last run, but
yeah,
it's just the cap salary. Is he willing to take a vet minimum, or is he going to want a big payday?
That's true. I think it's all about if he takes a smaller contract, and you're allowed to like surround him with talent. I think it'd be a great addition to a team. But you said it, you cannot pay him $50 million if you want to be successful. Chase, brother, you are a Cleveland fan. The game tonight is in Detroit. You've yet to win a road game. Do you think tonight is the first time the Cavs win a road game?
With Mitchell coming off an insanely hot second half against Detroit at home, Harden finally getting into a little bit of a groove, and Mobley and Allen have been playing insane defense past 2 games. I think tonight's the night they pull through and win a game on the road.
I absolutely love it. If they do that, I think they'll move on to the finals. Chase, bro, thanks for following the show. Thanks for calling in. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Of course. See you later.
Peace. Hey, Pantage right now, chatter of the day. Unbelievable stuff, Pantage. Just absolute cinema. No Gabe Vincent on the list deserves jail time is the funniest chat I've seen in a long time. Someone in here was saying that Anus O. Ant needs to be on this list. Ant is averaging 21, 6, and 3. All of his numbers are below his regular season averages. I'm sorry, dude, but a guy who's playing below his regular season numbers and really like not contributing much to like team success, Anthony Edwards has not been having a good postseason. You said he had 2 good games. He's the superstar on that team. Like, I need more evidence than he's had 2 good games. I look at the stats as the body of work. He's putting up 21 points per game, dude. You know who's putting up more? LeBron, Brunson, Cade, Maxey, Tobias Harris, and SGA. All of those guys are above Anthony Edwards. It's lit. Thank you for the follow. He was on limited minutes, bruh. Okay, so him being on limited minutes, I should be like, oh, well, he was on limited minutes. Now he should be in the top 10. That's even more of a cause for him not to be in the top 10. Bro, what is up? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Bennett, and I have a North Carolina number, but I'm from Dallas, Texas.
All right, Bennett from... Where are you right now?
Dallas, Texas.
Bennett from Texas. Unbelievable, brother. You're calling into today's show. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the NBA draft and if you think the Jazz will trade up or what do you think will happen?
Bro, real quick, this guy's like Anthony Edwards has a hurt leg. He's still doing decent. Bro, all of the reasons that you're saying right now, he's on a minutes restriction, he's hurt, are all reasons for him not to be in the top 10. So sorry, Bennett. I'm just having to yell at TikTokers right now.
You're okay.
My mock draft is very, very simple. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. But I have Caleb Wilson as being the most talented guy in the draft. I don't think he's going to go number 1 at all, but I do think he's the most talented guy in the draft, followed by DeBonsta, Darren Peterson, and then Boozer at 4. What was the question?
I said, do you think that Utah will trade up to get DeBonsta? Because since he's from Utah and everything, and they really need him.
They really do need him. It depends on how high Wizards are on DeBonsta. If the Wizards are like, DeBonsta's our guy, there's no shot they could do it. Now, what are you going to get for him, right? So the pick swap, there's not a whole lot of difference between 1 and 2. They're still going to get talented players. The idea is like, what else are you going to get from Utah? If Utah gives you another first-round pick, you have to do that. But if they're like, hey, here's 2 second rounds and then like, some random player that no one knows, it's like, I don't know if I would do that. The pot would have to be juicy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask, I'm a Mavericks fan, so what do you think the next steps the Mavericks need to take for like actually getting to competing for the playoffs again to build around Cooper Flag?
It's dude, you're in the West. Like, who runs the West? The Thunder and the Spurs right now. You to match up against the Spurs, you need a really, really talented big man to slow down Wemby. So you have to add in that piece. That's a very important piece to add in. And then to neutralize what the Thunder are doing, the Thunder beat you because of the depth that they have. So when all of your starters are on the bench and their starters are on the bench, usually the scrubs are kind of playing against each other. Bro, the guys that OKC bring in are all lottery picks. So you need to surround Cooper Flag with depth and defensive talent across the board. I think it's going to be like more of like a 2 or 3 year thing before Dallas is like truly competitive in the Western Conference. But I think you start with a really, really solid 5. You draft well, and then you surround them with defensive depth.
Yeah, and then who do you think the Mavs have the 9th pick? Who do you think that if they're going to trade up, or who do you think they're going to try and get?
I don't know if I'd see them necessarily trading up unless there's someone like super crazy right there. I've seen a lot about Keaton Vogler. I'm not the highest on him. Someone I'm really high on just purely because of the Wemby factor. Adi Mara from Michigan. I mean, the dude's 7'2". He can play really, really good defense. He's good around the rim. He's like a solid offensive guy. I mean, if you're in the West, I really highly consider going after Adi Mara just because of how tall he is. But I don't know. There's a lot of talent in this draft, and they're going to get a good player to help out Cooper Flag. Brother, unbelievable stuff. Bennett from North Carolina and Texas at the same time. You are the absolute man, bro. God bless. We'll talk soon.
God bless. Thank you.
Peace. Chris said you trade down DeBonsta, but also get Ace Bailey. If they gave you Ace Bailey and the number 2 pick for the number 1 pick, that's a thought. That's definitely interesting. I don't know why Utah would do that, though. I understand this idea of like, hey, AJ DeBonsta went to BYU. We like really want that guy on our team. That's cool and interesting and all, but I'm not super moved by DeBonsta to like go in and send another player to Washington, a guy that I really like. If they like Ace Bailey, they cannot move on from him to go after and get DeBonsta. Also, these guys are all like, they're all prospects. Do you remember 5 years ago, we were talking about Zion Williamson being the greatest basketball player to potentially ever exist, and he hasn't done a thing. He played 65 games this year, and they sucked. Dude, we could talk all day long about how good DeBonsta is going to be, or how Caleb Wilson's going to be better, or I think Darius Acuff is going to be the best player. We have no idea, bro. You have no idea what the man is going to turn into once $40 million hits his bank account. You have no idea what that person is going to become. Look at when Philly drafted Ben Simmons at 1, the Celtics drafted Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown at 3. Everyone thought Ben Simmons was a better player than Jaylen Brown. We were wrong. The next year, Philly drafted Markelle Fultz at 1. Lakers got Lonzo Ball at 2. And the Celtics got Jason Tatum at 3. I know you guys probably don't remember this, but most people kind of agreed Markelle Fultz was the best player in that draft. We were all wrong. Right now, we're sitting and looking at AJ DeBonsta as a guy that's like can't miss prospect, generational talent. I saw him lose as a 6 seed to Texas in the tournament. I'm not saying that you have to go far in the tournament to be successful in the NBA, but it helps, dude. There has not been a guy recently who hasn't done much in college and then turned out to be a great basketball player. Most of the guys that have team success or make it far in the tournament or somehow have like some big splash plays and upset some teams or win some big games in the tournament, usually are a little bit better than the guys that kind of just fizzle out. And I kind of saw A.J. DeBonsta and the BYU, Cougars kind of fizzle out. I know he had 30-plus in that game, but I would not completely move heaven and earth to go after a guy who's 18 years old. I don't know what they're going to become. And neither do you. So all the people who are like, your mock draft sucks. Or like, dude, oh my gosh, they're going to get Caleb Wilson. He's going to be so good. Cameron Boozer's going to be so good. You think so? Because not a single prospect was more highly thought of than Zion Williams. Zion was all over TV, the internet, magazines, everywhere you looked was Zion. And he ended up being an absolute bum. And all of these guys in this draft have the same opportunity. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Griffin. I'm calling from Kansas.
Griffin from Kansas calling into TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What you got for us, Griff?
Yeah, I was on TikTok. I saw your top 10 list, and it's maybe a hot take, but I don't know how A.J. Mitchell is not on that top 10 list.
Yeah, I mean, A.J. Mitchell's been awesome. My idea with this list is, like, if you take that guy off the team, I don't think they'd be where they are. It's hard to do that with any Thunder player. Like, you know, you didn't have J-Dub for most of the series against the Suns, but in a world where you didn't have SGA or J-Dub, do you think you still get past the Suns? I think they do. I think they even get past the Lakers. So it's like, putting A.J. Mitchell on this list, yeah, he's had an unbelievable postseason, but I think he's slightly replaceable on that team.
I disagree, because I think if you take AJ's production away from that team and what he does leading that second unit, I mean, he's averaging 19 and 5 off the bench. Yeah. I think that team drops massively in production because they don't have anybody that can run the flow of the offense as good with that second unit.
Yeah, I hear you, but one of the reasons he's had so much success is because of the gravity that SGA pulls, right? The Lakers were sending doubles every games 1, 2, and 3. They were sending doubles every time he got the ball. And right when he got doubled, he'd pass the ball over to AJ, and AJ would kind of have like a 3-on-2 on the opposite side of the floor of SGA. I think a lot of his success is a result of just the weight that SGA carries, but dude, he's an unbelievable talent. He went to UC Santa Barbara. Like, nobody recruited him. How does Sam Presti find these guys, bro? The Thunder are so annoying.
3-year, $9 million contract, too. Crazy.
I was trying to do the Fix the Lakers show, and everyone's like, I was talking about Jonas Valanciunas and, like, Batatse and, like, Paul Reed, and they're like, those guys suck. And I'm like, dude, you have to fill up, like, $10, $15 million contracts. Like, You need to find those guys. They have guys that they're not even paying pennies that are absolutely balling out and winning rings for them. I don't know. I honestly don't know if like, I'm pretty sure the West is going to be won by the Thunder or the Spurs for like the next 10 years, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one great matchup to see the entire time. But yeah, A.J. Mitchell, 3 years, $9 million deal, and he's averaging basically 20 and 5 in the playoffs. Absolutely insane.
He's an absolute beast. Griffin from Kansas. God bless you, bro. Thanks for calling in. I would love to talk to you soon. We'll catch you on another time.
Sweet. Thanks.
Peace. Jaden, you said Ant, ... Jay said, where's Ant? Tell me. Where should Ant go? Jason said Cade at number 1 is crazy. Cade's averaging 29, 5, and 7. He's shooting 44% from the field and 40% from 3. He leads the entire league in points and in minutes. He's the sole reason that Detroit is where they are right now. He's heart and soul of that team. Brunson isn't even carrying like he's not even facilitating on offense. The offense is run by Karl Anthony Towns. Brunson's been amazing, dude. But Cade has better numbers in rebounding and points scored and in assists. He has more points and more minutes. He's played harder. He plays way more defense. Brunson's a cone on defense. Cade, everything Cade has done this postseason is better than Jalen Brunson. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are crazy. Yeah, because his team sucks. Really? The number 1 seed Pistons suck? All right. Jaden McDaniels is an honorable mention. Honorable mention is reserved for guys that did not make it to round 2. Ant at 5 at least. Ant's averaging 21, 6, and 3 in the playoffs. The only guys on this list that have less stats is Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Tobias Harris has better numbers than Anthony Edwards. Sorry, that's just the truth. To all of the Ant should be top 5. I don't think you guys actually watched the ball. I don't think you guys actually watched the games. Because not once have I been like, yo, Ant, wow, crazy. He hasn't been. He's had a couple of really good games. And like the argument is like he's been hurt. Exactly. That's why he's not in the top 10. Well, his minutes have been restricted. Exactly. That's why he's not in the top 10. Z9 said Pistons easy. I love it, bro. And is injured. Yeah, that's why he's not in the top 10. Bro, they're the worst 1 seed ever. I'd have to look at all of the 1 seeds, but actually, remember when the Heat were the 8 seed, they beat the 1 seed Bucks. That was the worst 1 seed ever. They lost in 5 to the 8 seed Miami Heat. That was the worst 1 seed ever. I don't think Detroit's a bad basketball team. I think the Cavs are really good, especially at home, bro. The Cavs have yet to lose at home. I think Detroit's been really good. Kobe White should have made 6th man of the year. All right, Brody. I'm pretty sure that Bucks team was super injured. They had Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, they had Giannis. Was Chris Middleton hurt? I don't know if Drew Holiday was on the team at the time. They had Giannis and they were the 1 seed. The LeBron bias is crazy. Go Lakers. Still better than 6 through 10. Karl Anthony Towns does more for the Knicks than Anthony Edwards has done for Minnesota. Also, so is Gobert. The Minnesota would not be in round 2 without Rudy Gobert. That is a fact. That is a 100% fact. And they got through Denver without Ant for a couple of those games. Maxey got through the number 2 seed Boston Celtics, who everyone thought was the best team in the East. Maxey was unbelievable in his series. Tobias Harris. Maybe you can make an argument for Tobias Harris, but he's at least been there and showed up. And then you can't put him above SGA. That's crazy. AJ Mitchell should be on the list, said Chandler. Yeah, I hear that. I think AJ Mitchell is slightly more replaceable than any guy on this list, though. AJ Mitchell is literally the replacement for J-Dub. And, like, guess what? AJ Mitchell goes down. All right, bring in Nikola Topic. Lottery pick just sitting on the bench, DNP every night. Topic. I mean, the Thunder are a freaking joke, dude. It's so annoying. They have a full platoon of lottery picks. Fellas, if you don't follow, can you? It'd be nice if you did. I get it if not, though. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jack, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
Jack from Minnesota. I can't really hear you too well. Are you far away from the phone, Jack?
Yes, I'll get closer. Is that better?
All right, yeah. Yeah, there you go, brother. Scoot on in. Scoot your boots. Oops, that's inappropriate. Did you have school today?
Yes.
Wait, so when does summer break start, Jack?
Like started June.
Oh, so you got a couple weeks left, and then you're on summer break. Do you have any plans for summer?
I'm going to Costa Rica.
Really? That's going to be so sick. Have you ever left the country before?
Yes, I have.
All right, Blott's just completely nitpicking. Bro, moving guys 1 pick. Jack, you're calling into the show. What did you want to talk about today, bro?
I just had a hot take that
right.
Iowa School and Jaden any of the Timberwolves should be on there because they were such a big piece on how we got past round 1.
Oh. That's why I have Gobert on there, because I think without Gobert, you guys don't get past Denver. Like, he pretty much, I know Jokic still had his triple-doubles, but he really, really, really neutralized Nikola Jokic's ability to pass and facilitate, which led to them not being able to do a thing offensively. I think Gobert was the reason that you guys are in round 2.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I feel like Jaden McDaniels has made a big impact.
He has. Did you expect him to make this big of an impact?
No.
No, you didn't. What about Ayo Dosunmu? Like, that's a dude that you guys got and went after, and everyone's like, all right, that's an interesting pick. He's been unbelievable for you.
Yeah, I think it was a steal of a trade. And, yeah, I feel like he's an honorable I can't talk. Honorable
You got
mention.
it. You got it, Jack. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's hard to like think and talk and perform all at the same time, and that's what you're doing. You're performing. You're doing a great job doing it. I love the idea of throwing in Jaden McDaniels on this list. I love Ayo Dosunmu. My question is, I got a bunch of people yelling at me about Anthony Edwards. I feel like the 2 guys you named have been more important to Minnesota than Ant.
I just feel like he didn't play at all, basically. He wasn't the biggest piece of that offense. He was a big piece, but he wasn't the reason that we got past round one. And he's not the reason that we're winning all these games, because Julius Randle is doing all this, and it's not just him.
I really, really do like the take. I think the struggle that I have right now is that Rudy Gobert talent that we saw against Jokic. It's just not rubbing off on what Wemby's able to do. Man, the Spurs are a tough team to get past. Do you still have hope for your squad getting through San Antonio?
I think I do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to go to 7.
Whoa, Jack, pause. You think you do, or do you?
I do.
There you go. Jack, I love the confidence. I love you stepping up to the plate and being a part of this show. Real quick question for you off the top of the head, 1 minute or less. Is Kyler Murray going to lead the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs?
Yes.
Jack, you are so awesome. God bless, bro. Have fun in Costa Rica. Call back whenever you want. We'll talk soon, bro.
All right, thank you.
Peace. Mine tired. How is Cade 1 with 22 turnovers? I understand the turnover thing for sure. He's also playing more minutes than anybody. He handles the ball every single time up and down the floor. For me, that's kind of like saying, man, my quarterback, like, oh, Justin Herbert has so many picks. And you're like, well, he's the only guy on the team throwing the ball. Does that make any sense? Like, of course your quarterback is going to lead your team in interceptions. He's the only one doing it. So if Cade's the only one handling the ball for that team and playing the most minutes and scoring all of the points, being the number one focal point on the entire offense, naturally he's going to have 22 turnovers. I think it also, 22 turnovers for how much he's played, pretty good. Z9, Rudy better than Ayton. Rudy Gobert better than DeAndre Ayton? Absolutely, bro. No Celtics players is wild. Drake May, Cross, God bless. Drake May sucks. Fake May. I didn't add anybody to the top 10 that did not make it to round 2, except for the honorable mentions. Like, what Celtic would you want as an honorable mention? Joe Mazzulla? Why isn't Scotty higher? He didn't make it to round 2, Kobe. Have you heard of Jalen Brunson? I've heard of him. He's at 2. He'd be at number 1 if he could play some defense. Cade Cunningham wipes the floor with JB on defense. I had to put Cade above him. He also has more points. He's averaging 29, 5, and 7. He is contributing more to the Pistons than Brunson is to the Knicks. Jokic has to be in there, bro. Fetty, no, he didn't make it to round 2. Cade, also known as Vader. Z9, I love that you're a Pistons fan. We just need some Pistons love. Guys, my friend Z9 is over on YouTube all alone. If anybody wants to go join him. Also, if you don't follow the show, please hit the follow button. It helps me grow. AJ Mitchell, yeah, I hear you. I just don't think any of the, thank you for the follow, Randy. I don't think any of the Thunder players are like as important to their team as the rest of these guys on this list. You know what I mean? Dylan Harper been popping off. Yeah, he's been really good. Dylan Harper's been really good. I feel like every single night there's a new Spurs guard that pops up, right? It's like, obviously we have the Wemby show. We haven't even really gotten the De'Aaron Fox game yet this series, right? We've had Steph Castle being very consistent. Vassell's in there every once in a while. Keldon Johnson had the game. Ron Harper Jr.'s had the game a couple of times. We still haven't gotten the De'Aaron Fox game yet. That team is like sneaky deep. But more than anything, you guys got to wait up or look out for the Luke Kennard game. Luke Kennard game. Completely butchered that. Cornette. Dylan Harper more. Oh, did I say Rod Harper? Dylan Harper more impactful than Wemby this series? Yeah, Wemby has 4 blocks a game, so I disagree, but I hear you. Fox had game 3 Blazers. He did have game 3 Blazers. That was the Fox game. Yeah, am I right, though? It's a new Spur every night. It's kind of awesome. Is it crazy to say the Knicks have had the easiest cakewalk to the finals compared to everyone else? I kind of had that in my notes on Monday's show. This idea that like the Knicks basketball team has like obviously gotten through, Atlanta. They were a decent squad. They were down 2-1 to Atlanta, games 1, 2, and 3. Mike Brown made the adjustment. Instead of Brunson running the offense, Karl Anthony Towns is going to run the offense, and JB can play off ball. That completely changed this entire team to the point where now they're like a legit title contender. They played a Philly team that felt like they won their final against the Celtics. It has been a slightly easy track. They played a 6 seed and then a 7 seed, so If they get Detroit, we'll see. They haven't beaten Detroit once in the regular season, so I don't know. Which L in second round was your favorite game for Maxey? Favorite second round L for Maxey? It's a great question. Is it the one where the Knicks scored 147,000 points on them? Oh, that game was so sad, bro. I feel so bad. Probably game 2. He had 26 in game 2, and he shot 16% from 3. It shot 14% from 3 in game 4. That was a pretty fun one. What's up, Thread the Needle? It's going to be interesting because the Pistons swept them 3-0 in the regular season too. I believe it was 4-0. Bear down, broski. Man, Detroit literally wiped the floor with New York. You see this a couple times. You see this a lot more in football. Sometimes in basketball. The Minnesota Timberwolves were like this. You have some teams that design a team around beating another team, right? Minnesota, their GM was the former GM of the Denver Nuggets. The guy that drafted Jokic, the guy that drafted Murray, the guy that made that Nuggets championship team. Minnesota hired him to be their GM, purely to put together a roster that could beat the Nuggets. And he did it. They literally put together a team just to beat Denver, and it worked. I think there's a chance that maybe Detroit was made in a lab just to beat New York. I mean, we're going to find out. Odds are we're going to find out. If they can get through Cleveland, I think they will. We're going to be able to find this thing out, but Detroit might have just been made in some Chinese Wuhan lab just to beat New York. With Cat running the offense and killing Duren, I think the Knicks would take the Pistons. I don't think he could run the offense and kill Duren. That's the tough part, bro. It's really hard to play defense and offense at a high level. That's why what Wemby does is so impressive, or what Cade Cunningham does is so impressive, or even LeBron James. Karl-Anthony Towns has been a facilitating role on offense. So if you can continue to have Jalen Brunson put up the numbers he's putting up, that's great. But the reason the Knicks won in 4 against Philly is not because of Cat. It's not because of Brunson. It's because of the consistent 20 points you get a game from OG and the fact that Mikal Bridges was able to hit his shots. Deuce McBride was crazy off the bench. Shamet had some games in there. You had everybody else on that team contributing to the offense. When those guys don't contribute, they go down 2-1 to Atlanta. That is the key for me. And the tough part about Detroit is they have defense everywhere, bro. So you're going to have Asar Thompson probably. You're going to have Duren on Cat, right? Let's do this. Let's do this right now. Who's guarding who if it's Detroit, New York, who's guarding who? Can we figure this out together? As a unit, as a squad? Who's Asar Thompson guarding? Is he guarding Brunson? Cade Cunningham's going to guard Brunson, right? So we're going to have Cade on Brunson. We're going to have Duren on Cat. Odds are Asar is going to guard... He's going to play more of a help role. I would honestly put him on Josh Hart, personally, because Josh Hart isn't much of an offensive threat. And so Asar Thompson can play a lot more kind of help defense, like a free safety type beat. Tobias Harris is probably going to be on Mikal Bridges. And then who else is going to start? Duncan Robinson? Has he been starting? Asar will be guarding Brunson most likely. So then who's Cade guarding? Is Cade going to be on Mikal Bridges? Detroit loses to Cleveland, my guy. Wake up. Artorias, I'm wide awake, brother. No one more awake in America than I am, dog. Eyes wide open. I've watched every NBA game so far in the playoffs, and listen, man. Cleveland is the team that I picked at the beginning to win the finals, and they've been nothing but a complete disappointment to me. Let's take this call. Gosh dang it, it just went away. Whoever that 256 area code, if you call back, I'll take your call. Roro is just spamming different things. Don't spam. C-Bands, what up, bro? Go for Pistons, but I'd love Harden to get a chip. Seeing James Harden win one. Dude, he's one of the most, underrated superstars that we have in basketball. He really is. He works so hard. He doesn't have internet. It's a Young Thug joke. I think people really, really discredit James Harden's greatness in a very negative way just because he's bounced around a lot and made a lot of money. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. This is my friend Alex from Colorado.
What's up, Zach? How's your day been?
Dude, I'm doing okay. It started with the Angels getting swept by the Guardians, and now my Los Angeles Angels have lost 29 of the last 33 games that we played against Cleveland.
That's not good.
Wow. I mean, unbelievable analysis from Alex. If you guys want more sports analysis like that, you can follow him on Twitter and TikTok. I'm just messing around. What's up, Alex? What do you got for us today?
I'm just tired. I just did, I don't know. I did 3 or 4 20-minute interviews with the high school football team for the 9 News.
Okay.
And then what else did I do? I had to help make the schedule release video for our high school football team. And then,
wow.
This was the first day where I saw hardly much sports news I got today.
You were just locked in, working hard. I absolutely love that. Alex does some work with the Altitude Sports Network down there up there in Denver. Brother, we've been talking a lot about my top 10 players so far in the postseason, and a lot of people are mad at me for not having Anthony Edwards in the top 10. He's averaging 21, 6, and 3 in the playoffs. He averaged 29, 5, and 4 in the regular season. He's not been having a good postseason, and I don't know how to explain it to these people.
He hasn't had a good postseason. I'd say, hey, they won a series against the Nuggets. They beat us without him, technically. I mean, that's all I have to say about Anthony Edwards. But I think you should sneak Edwards in there at 10 and see if he could climb up there. I think his performances against San Antonio are rising up, though. I think that's something to look at. Yeah. I got to see what he does in Game 6, though.
I feel like that series might be over, bro. I mean, every time they lose, they get completely blown out.
They do. And honestly, I think it's the end for Minnesota to start cheering for their teams in the playoffs. The Avalanche. We're about to end them in a gentleman's sweep. So, in Game 5.
They look pretty
good. I don't get what people are...
My Ducks lost to the Vegas Golden Knights last night. The Knights take a 3-2 series lead. The Avalanche are going to blow through whoever wins that series, right?
I think they will. I think if Vegas... I know Vegas beat Anaheim, but I think as an Avs fan, I'm a little nervous for Vegas. That's the only team I'm nervous for. If we play Anaheim, I feel like they just don't have the lack of experience to play our veteranship. But I feel like if we play Vegas, it's going to be a tight 6-game series. Probably. Again, guys at Altitude, they think it's going to be an easy 5-game gentleman sweep. I just don't think that. I just think the way we took out Blackwood, the way we took out Wedgwood, that's going to be a completely different level. We're now starting to rotate goalies. I think the team's locker room and chemistry is going to change up with different goaltenders.
Yeah. Brother, I absolutely love it. You're bringing some heat today. The NFL schedule release is coming tomorrow, and I'm so excited about it. But I am kind of nervous about this idea that we have now become so inundated with NFL that even the schedule release has got people more excited than NBA playoff basketball and NHL postseason hockey. What kind of world are we living in where we care more about where our team is playing and what time than the actual playoffs?
Well, I just think this year's playoffs, hockey's playoffs, I haven't paid the most attention. In basketball this year, we hardly saw any Game 7s. I think there was only 2 Game 7s we've seen. And then this series, we might not even get a Game 7. It depends on how well Cleveland plays. Cleveland are the Pistons. And, I think the Wolves, and I'm sorry for Minnesota fans, San Antonio, that game's over. I think that series is over in a way. I think Minnesota's burned out. But that's what I think it is. I think we're in a world now where, there's hardly hockey. I feel like we should watch more. It's actually pretty good. I actually like watching hockey. It's very contact, good physicality. There was a fight in the Avs Minnesota Wild game, and I liked it. I was loving it. I just think basketball this year, I think we've hardly seen defense. I think that's one of the reasons why. Too much offense. I want to see defense.
I feel like the defense has been pretty decent in the postseason.
Yeah.
It's obviously been a lot better in the postseason than it was in the regular season, so I will absolutely admit to that one with you. But, brother, Alex, thank you for calling into the show. Anything else for the people on your way out?
Well, maybe I got a question for the people in the comments,
Let's get it.
Wait, I got to find it. You could participate too, Zach. So this was a question in my sports broadcasting class we had today. Okay. You don't know the players' names. It's a blind ABC team, and you got to pick this team. Which team do you think could either its offensive side of the ball but you pick what squad on offense can help lead you to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Now this, I think, it's going to be entertaining.
All right, let's get it.
Here's Team C. First quarterback. He is an all-pro quarterback, but he's been injured off and on the field. But he hasn't made it to the NFC Championship at all in his career. But he's a decent player, below 500 in the playoffs. But Christian, oh shoot, I almost said one of them. But they have a Super Bowl running back who's lost the Super Bowl, and they have a young receiver who's an All-Pro and who's made the Pro Bowl a couple times. And then Team B, they have a quarterback who hasn't won his division, but he's made a couple NFL teams and NFL like first team, second team.
Okay.
He's also made a couple Pro Bowls, and their running back, he's also made a couple Pro Bowls, but he's been a fantasy bust though. But he was a first round draft pick. And then for the receiver, he's an incredible guy. He played in college with this quarterback, and he was on probably the best national championship team ever, arguably. And he was definitely lost in the Super Bowl. So each team, by the way, has a Super Bowl player. And he lost in the Super Bowl, but he's also made a lot of Pro Bowls, has a really good contract. And then this final team, this is a Super Bowl winning team, in my opinion, Team A. This is the team I picked, even blind ranking it. There's a Super Bowl MVP running back and a young wide receiver who is exploding through the rankings. And he was a first-round draft pick. He's, I think, in his second or third season, but he's definitely a good receiver. He won a Super Bowl this past season, the team. And their quarterback, right now, he's on pace to have the most wins in his franchise if he keeps winning. But there is some questions about his health. So which team are you taking?
In what? In to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, to like win the Super Bowl, win your division, win the conference.
I'm probably going to go with the Team C, the 49ers.
Okay, so that Team C you picked has Dak Prescott at quarterback, Christian McCaffrey at running back, and Armand St. Brown.
Wait. What is this? I thought this was...
Well, you're blind ranking teams, but I tell you like the numbers.
Oh, wait, these aren't real teams?
No, these aren't real teams.
Wait, these are just fake, made-up fantasy football teams.
Yeah.
Alex.
So which team do you want?
I want the team with Christian McCaffrey on it.
Okay, but he does get hurt. The team I'm picking has Bo Nix, Saquon Barkley, and JSN.
Yeah, that team would be really, really good if they had a quarterback that could throw the ball downfield.
Okay, Team B has Justin Herbert, man. That team, like, that's the worst team.
Okay, Alex.
You got Bijan, you got Jamar. Like, come on, man. Like,
is that the first-round bust? Is that the first-round bust, Bijan?
Yeah, he's kind of a first-round bust. I said he's a fantasy bust.
Fantasy bust. I think he was the top 5 running back the past 2 seasons, but you got him as a fantasy bust.
Well, for me, he sucks at fantasy. I don't know why.
Yeah, for me too, because he has 2 games a year where he scores 40 points, and then like 3 games a year where he scores like 6. It's very frustrating. But brother Alex, that was unbelievable. Next time, if you could write that down, and I could like put up and use it as a graphic, I think that would help us out a lot. But dude, absolutely love you producing content for the show. You are the absolute man, bro. Let people know where they can follow you if they want more content like that. Bolt up.
Well, right now, Vista Now. That's where it is. Go to YouTube, Vista Now. If you want to see me on Vista Now, I'm making content for them for their YouTube page for their high school, from Mount Vista High School, Colorado.
From Mount Vista, Colorado. He is cued in with all of the Colorado sports news stuff. He's an unbelievable talent on TBWZ. Alex, God bless. Thanks for calling, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yep, see ya.
Peace. Whoa, Slade. What card did you pull? Slade's in the Twitch chat right now. He said he just pulled a $250 card out of a $75 hobby. Was it a hobby or a blaster? What's up, JJ? Thank you for the follow, bro. Wait, how Gobert on here and Ant not? I've said it a bunch of times, but I will say it for you, brother, because I don't know if you've hopped into the show. Do you follow the show? Are you a follower? You only get my explanation if you follow. I'm like that. I'm greedy right now. Can Spida do enough to get them to the Eastern Conference Finals? Spida can, but I think he needs the rest of his team to hop up around him, dude. Evan Mobley's averaging like 3 rebounds a game. That sucks. I mean, Jared Allen does. That sucks, dude. I can call in. Anybody can call in just like this guy right here. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ widescreen radio. He's a mod in the Twitch. He's a loyal listener. Give it up for JD.
Howdy, guys. How you doing?
JD, they are doing good. They're absolutely following like crazy, like Brandon and John and JoJo. Thank you guys so much. JD, calling to the show. How was work today, bro?
I'm not really fond of people.
Well, let's break that down. So JD is he's a front of house guy at Chick-fil-A. So you have to do a lot of like talking to people and having good people skills. And you're realizing right now, although it is your pleasure, you don't like people.
No, here's the thing. I've always known I have a limited social battery.
Yes.
I've always known I have that. Okay. And so when that runs out and people are ordering like $80 meals, I'm like, shut up, dude. Just you fat people. Hurry up and order.
Dude, I used to work at In-N-Out, and I would get guys who came in like, can I get a 4x4 like plain? And I'm just like, and a vanilla shake and fries, and they're like the biggest person ever, can't even get out of their car. I'm just like, brother, you see some working at fast food restaurants, you see some gnarly human beings.
Dude, I'm telling you, the worst part is though, like you order it, like they take your order and there's a long line, you have to make their drinks immediately. I'm like, please just go away.
Dude, I'm getting absolutely crushed by Minnesota fans. This guy wants Edwards and Ayo DeSumio on the list that already has Gobert. You want 3 Wolves on this list? I'm chatting back at him.
Edwards, no. I mean, whatever that one guy, he had one good game against the Nuggets.
Yeah, that one guy.
I mean, so the only person that really deserves is Rudy Gobert that shut down Jokic and has been doing a halfway decent job against Wemby.
You know ball. You know ball, JD. Not just because that's my list. Actually, yeah, just because that's my list. Brother, you are an OKC fan. You guys get a bunch of rest, and you're coming off of this series against the Lakers, and you get like probably 5 or 6 days just to chill out. Are you afraid of the Spurs or the Wolves at all?
OKC in 5 or 6.
I absolutely love it, dude. Confidence through and through.
I mean, here's the thing. Shea might have one bad game. But then Shea's going to get pissed off. He's going to do his little load the ammo or Glock celebration in your face, point at Dylan Harper's face and say he's not him, and then he's going to aura farm and drop 40 every game.
Is the aura farming a necessary part of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's success, or is it just a byproduct?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's both, but, like, it's real. I mean, sometimes I just like when he just, like, I mean, it was like the Dylan Brooks when he, like, pointed them. You see that? Did you see that on, like, social media?
Dylan Brooks was sitting courtside at the Laker game, completely just mogging LeBron James. It was terrible. Dude.
That was the next level of D1 hate on OKC.
It was unbelievable D1 hatred. I absolutely loved it. JD, I was doing I'm glad you weren't here for the Power Hour because I completely fixed the Lakers. Part of fixing the Lakers for me, I did fix them.
It was getting rid of Luka.
Okay, well, I could just kick you off the show right now. I could just block your number. So many people are talking about Isaiah Hartenstein because he signed a 1-year deal, and I hear that one. A way bigger one for me, you know, Lou Dort is an unrestricted free agent next year.
That is true. That is very true. But here's the thing.
And he's going to ask for a lot of money.
He probably will, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then if we do get rid of him, we still have Cason Wallace, who's, in my opinion, a better defender and a better shooter. And so we can get rid of him. Hartenstein, nah, he's not leaving. Because we'll have enough money to keep Hartenstein. But Lou Dort, I don't think we care enough for him.
Wow. So if Lou Dort hits the market, that's a great defensive talent that can help a team out. But you think Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet, those two 7-footers together, is that like a necessary thing for them to get through Wemby, or you just like the style of play of both those guys on the floor together?
Well, if we get Mara, then what's his name? Hartenstein, if we get him, Mara learns under Hartenstein and Chet for a year. And then if we can't keep Chet, or we can't keep Holmgren, and then, not Holmgren, oh my gosh. We can't keep Hartenstein, we can just keep Mara on a rookie contract and just keep doing rookie contracts.
I think that's the cheat code. Is like you guys could just have an infinite first-round pick glitch if you just keep drafting really good players and then flipping them for first-round picks. Like right now, I know this is crazy. If you traded A.J. Mitchell in the offseason, you could probably get 2 first-rounders out of him.
Well, we're getting honest if we trade A.J. Mitchell. That's 100% fact.
That is the take right there. Thank you, JD. So you transitioned us perfectly, to where is Giannis going next year. I have stayed steadfast in this idea that if Milwaukee wants the best haul possible for Giannis, they need to do a deal with OKC because they can get the first round this year. They get another first next year, and then get a guy like A.J. Mitchell or like a Cason Wallace or a Nikola Topic.
I want to keep him because he could be good.
Isn't that crazy? You guys have lottery picks on the bench that didn't play a single minute this year, and we're like, next year they're going to come to the game and ball out, and we're like, oh, that guy's really good.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even if we can't keep Hartenstein, we drafted a guy called Thomas Sobaer. Okay, and he's pretty good. He's from Georgetown.
Okay.
And he hasn't played a minute at all because he tore his ACL. But he's a rebounding machine. He's a rebounding machine, and he can score on your best player. So there's that.
Honestly, I've never seen him play a single minute. I don't even know the name. I never watched Georgetown play basketball last year. But if Sam Presti drafted him, I'm just going to go out on a limb and think that he's a good basketball player.
I'm pretty sure he was at the 12 spot, too. And we're usually the players that fall to 12 for us are pretty good.
That's where you got J-Dub, right?
That's where we got J-Dub. That's where we got who else did we get? Oh, we got Nick Collison, the only player that has his number retired at 12.
Yeah.
We got one other player, I forget his name.
I absolutely love that.
That was really good.
JD, before you go, I really miss football, bro. Can you just give us anything on football? Do you want to talk about the Thanksgiving Day game?
I don't know. I really miss college football. That's my problem.
Dude, I miss college football
and
so bad.
I'm really sad that they're probably trying to make it to 2014 when we skipped over the perfect number of 8 teams in the playoffs.
It feels like 8 would have been perfect, man. I mean, 12 is decent because those 4 teams that get a bye, but 4 teams getting a bye is kind of a lot.
If you think about it, those teams that have gotten a bye, only one team has won a game. It was Indiana.
It's true. Wow, Billy Bucket said Seahawks missed the playoffs. All right, if you're in the chat right now, just fire off all of your hottest NFL takes in the chat. Hurry. I can see that happening too. I mean, do we see Sam Darnold regressing back? Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Also, you know who got scammed? Jason Myers should have won the freaking Super Bowl MVP.
Thank you.
The freaking whatever they're called, were like they can't go to a kicker.
Yeah, the writers.
Kiss my dude.
Jason Myers had all of the points.
He had 15 points.
I think we had a legit chance. If the game ended there, I'm pretty sure Jason Myers, the kicker, would have been the Super Bowl MVP. Banner said Cardinals are a wild card team with Gardner Minshew.
No, Cardinals are not going to be a wild card. There's no way.
Well, they played a tough division.
Exactly. They're not even going to. They're going to become last again. It's going to be Rams.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals. Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles or become first. Then it'll be Eagles, Commanders, Giants.
Okay.
So
you have the Giants finishing. You have the Giants finishing last in the NFC East.
Yes. I mean, here's the thing. They had a good offseason. Yes. You know how many times the Giants have had a good offseason? So many times. And guess what? They still finish last. These New Yorkers are the most delusional fan base things I've ever heard. If the Knicks lose, their whole city's going to go in flames. Because they're all thinking, they're going to beat OKC in 4. No
Dude, it's a great take. Billy Buckets, who's he's a Patriots fan, but he's being so real and so honest, thinking that his Pats might miss the playoffs. He has the Commanders finishing first in the NFC East.
What's his name? Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Dak Prescott the best? Is Dak Prescott top 5 in the league?
In my opinion. Here's the thing. When Dak is healthy, and when he's had 2 viable options, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, 100%.
Yeah. And then Daddy Uriah 9 has Steelers going to the Super Bowl. How do you feel about that?
That is the most biased and delusional take I've ever heard. You just lost Mike Tomlin, who's the king of going 9-8 or whatever, the 500. I guarantee you that team is going below 500.
JD always bringing the heat.
Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. He's 40-something. He can't even throw the ball 30 yards.
He's a drug addict. JD, always bringing the heat on TBWZ. Absolutely love you being a part of this thing. We'll talk soon in the chat, okay?
Yes, sir. See you.
Peace. Fellas, on TikTok, if you guys want to see the rest of TBWZ, I'm going to be live for the next 20, 30 minutes on Twitch and YouTube exclusively. So if you guys want to hang out with us over there, you are absolutely welcome to. But if not, I bid you farewell. I will be live again tonight on TikTok at around 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I'll be back live on TikTok. I always go live first on Twitch and YouTube. So if you want to follow over there, that's where you can see the full show. And if you want to keep watching along with us, you can watch it there right now because I'm going to be live for another 20 minutes. But TikTok people, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following, being gracious. Billy Buckets, unbelievable stuff. C-Bands, Banner, Daddy, Kai, you guys are the best. Thanks for chit-chatting, hanging out, and talking ball with Zach. See you on Twitch. It's just us now. It's just us now, fellas. Wait, Slade, what was the card? Did you send it to the Discord already? Well, I got 40 cents from that, guys. I'm balling so hard right now. 40 cents? Are you kidding me? All right, let me check it. Dude, tonight's going to be a quick turnaround, bro. I usually have 4 hours to rest and edit before the night show. I don't have that today. I do not at all. And I didn't cook a single good clip except for that ah-pata-pata thing. Oh, Travion Henderson Uptown. That is such a nice card. Wow, at the Paramount Theater too. Looking so sick, bro. Decent centering, it looks like. Wow. This looks like a nice card, bro. Uptowns are very... the Uptown Refractor looks so beautiful. Bro, what a sweet card. Travion Henderson's a really cool guy. I did some work with him. What's up, Jorge? I did some work with him with the company I work for right now, Global Christian Relief. My company, GCR, we help persecuted Christians around the world. And I edit reels for them and social content for them to, help get donations and stuff like that. So Travion Henderson, we did an interview with him, sit-down interview with Travion. Because he's really passionate about some of the work that we're doing in Nigeria. And he is a really, really cool dude. He's super, super dope. We were on his My Cause, My Cleats. And we're going to be on his My Cause, My Cleats again this year. So he's using us as his cause, if you will. And we're actually going to be going on a trip with him to Nigeria in the off-season, next off-season, I believe. So I might be going to Nigeria with Travion Henderson. I really don't want to. I'm going to grade it, and if it gets a 10, it's $1,600. I would just sell it raw, Slade. Are you trying to move off of it, or are you trying to hang? With sports cards in general. I feel like I'm a big proponent of just if you're not a fan of the player, just sell it right away, as quickly as possible. Do you want to know why? Last year, when all the rookie cards were coming out before the season had started, this time last year, basically, Shadur Sanders cards were selling for thousands of dollars, and guys were buying them for that much money. Those same cards that guys are spending $1,000 on right now, you can get for $250. The market always goes down. For most of these rookie players that have a lot of hype, think about Jackson Dart, right? If you were buying Jackson Dart last year in the middle of the season, you were spending, for that same Uptown, you were spending what? Not going to lie, probably $5,000. Some guys were spending on a graded PSA 10 Jackson Dart Uptown. He has a bad year. Gets hurt maybe. Has a bad sophomore. Stock way down. The whole added thing of buy low, sell high, oh, they're doing schedule release videos right now on SportsCenter. Roger Goodell looks cool. Roger Goodell and Kevin Nagandi hanging out talking football cards. It's so sick. Why are his hands yellow? What's with crazy rich people painting themselves orange and yellow? I'm an Ohio State fan, so I don't know. Yeah, Slade, if you're an Ohio State fan, man, that he's going to be a good running back for a long time. I don't necessarily see him not playing at a playoff level or being on a playoff level team for like a while. He's a really good ball player. I like Travion Henderson a lot. Good guy, too. Ew, I hate Ohio State. JD, me too. Me too. Speaking of Ohio State and college football, I have a bunch of notes on the USC Trojans schedule this year that absolutely nobody cares about at all. Thinking about it. I had a clip on the Philly sports fan that was good. Okay, I had the Wemby GOAT clip that was fine. I don't think I finished this clip off, though. My clip about LeBron James playing another 5 seasons. Did you guys hear that one? Okay. Did you guys hear that one? About LeBron James playing another 5 years? Boo, screw Lincoln Riley, but let's hear the USC note. Yeah, I'll cut this real quick for the one time. Sorry. I pooped my pants today. My underwear are and my shorts. Bro, it's one of my favorite pair of shorts too. Bled straight through. I hate to be gross. Sorry about that, but yeah, pooped my pants today. Not good. I usually am someone who tends to be more on the cautious side with a fart. I find myself kind of being afraid to fart a lot of the time. I save my gas for like when I'm on the bowl. You know what I mean? So just no problems, no issues there. Just there's something wrong with my mechanisms, my sewage, my waste mechanisms. There's something off there. I was just sitting in this chair and I farted, and instantly I knew. I was like, wow, warmth. There's something there. It really knocks you down a peg. It really does. It's tough. It's a tough look. Even though like no one was there and I didn't tell, like I guess I'm telling a bunch of people right now, but something I could have just, swept away, wiped up, showered off, and not mentioned it, not thought about it. It's been eating away at me all day. Like I just feel like a total loser. Like I feel like a bum. I just didn't have that on my bingo card today. And there was nothing I could have really done about it. Like if I go and replay that play 100 times, I would fart every time. It didn't feel like there was anything behind it. Man, it must have just been sitting right there. I don't know what. It was demoralizing. It was right before the show too, so I'm like, here we go, let's get after it. About to have a great show. Oh. It's tough. You instantly, like, no matter how good you feel about yourself, or if you lost a bunch of weight, or you just got a good haircut, or your beard's looking good, if you're feeling hot and sexy, all you need to do is just chart, and you're like, I'm the grossest guy to ever exist. Sucked, dude. Luckily, though, I have underwear that are good at, they weren't that good. It was just such a non-viscous. It's closer to a liquid than a solid, so it just bled straight through my shorts. Sucked. I had to throw the shorts away and the underwear. That is the move. If you ever have any sort of issue at all with any sort of doo-doo on your poo-poos, throw them away. No, we're not. I've thrown away my underwear in public multiple times. Just tossed them. Been at a bathroom at a bar. Ooh, bad news down there. Shoot. Just throw them in the trash can on my way out. Someone's like, did you just throw away your underwear? I'm like, yeah, you want to see me? You want me to pull my pants down? When you guys don't chat at all during me completely revealing myself like that, it makes me feel like I shouldn't have said any of that. So I regret it now completely. C4 hates that ESPN game so much. LOL, way too many subscriptions, and that's the one that is so expensive. ESPN Plus is a lot, dude. It is a lot. And they are charging the sports fans so much money for us just to watch our favorite teams play ball. It's quite annoying and quite frustrating. Fellas, I got to admit, though, to you, tomorrow is Thursday. There's no basketball tomorrow. Oh, for the first time in a long, long time, I will not be going live on TBWZ. And I'm not going to lie. It's been eating at me. I literally joined in right before this rant. C4, that's crazy. All day you're just like, like you were busy or whatever, and you're like, I get to tune in for the end of Zach's show, and I'm just sitting here talking about pooping my pants. Gosh, it sucks so bad. Such a bad look. We're not going to put any of this out at all, ever. No. We're not going to put this stuff out. I mean, unless you guys really want me to. We're all good. We don't need to do that. I think LeBron can play another 5 seasons, and here's how. Don't travel. How come we've never done this in the NBA yet? Like, I know the idea of, like, maybe he doesn't play back-to-backs, or there's a few road trips that maybe he's hurt for. Why not he just doesn't travel? Just have him play all 41 games at home and then play in the playoffs. Why not? So LeBron gets to hang out and stay with his family and do his thing in LA and continue to build his brand and his business. And the Lakers can go take the show on the road and win without him on the road. You put LeBron on this team at home, they're going to win 30 games at home. So they're 30-11 at home with LeBron playing, full health, fully rested every single time. And then what? You got to win 20? You got to go 500 on the road without him. That shouldn't be too hard for Luka Doncic to do. If they construct the roster like I built. I don't know why. Like, is that crazy? I mean, the other thought for LeBron is like, hey, don't play back-to-backs. Don't go on the Grammy road trip. Avoid a couple of tough road stretches and just kind of load manage him. But if he does that and he load manages, everyone's going to be like, dude, this guy's such a fraud. He's a load manager. Like, I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I want LeBron to be on my team, but I also want him to be like rested and like be able to take care of his family and do the things that he wants to do over there. I completely ran out of gas. No, Hunter, no. I think you got to pay for some kind of actual provider for their games. To watch the games just on ESPN, you have to have cable, I'm pretty sure. You have to have a cable subscription, unless you sign up for ESPN Unlimited, which is like $30 a month. It's tough. I still use my parents' cable. C4 said, I'm sorry, gang, he is leaving. I put a bunch of clips. I cut something up about how I don't think LeBron is leaving, but one of the coolest things, what if LeBron just didn't sign with the team? What if he just waited until like the All-Star break or like right before the deadline of like when the lineups lock? Because your teams lock like a little bit after free agency ends, like right kind of in that free agency mode. Like your team kind of locks in place and you can't add or subtract or make any moves really. Why doesn't LeBron just say like, I'm not going to play until after the All-Star break. And then whoever he wants to go to, he just signs like a minimum deal there. That'd be kind of cool. If every year him and Kevin Durant just like, it would be better for Kevin Durant. I think LeBron, it'd be a bad look for LeBron, but if Kevin Durant did that, why not? Just be like, I'm going to sit out the first half of the season. I'm injured, right? I'm injured. I'm a free agent, but I'm injured. Why doesn't he just sit out the first, half of the season and then sign somewhere after the All-Star break? Because then it solves two things. It solves the, like, I want to be around my family. I don't want to travel too much. Well, you're missing half the season. So, actually over half the season. And he can stay in shape and do his thing in LA and, like, stay ready to play. Bro, LeBron's always going to come prepared, right? He's never going to show up to a game and be unprepared or out of shape, right? So you're always going to have that aspect. Maybe he's like, I don't want to play basketball until I want to. And he just is a free agent, like kind of a fake retirement thing. Because if you remember, Tom Brady retired and then joined the Bucs. Tom Brady retired and then joined the team. He joined them at the start of training camp, but he could have technically waited. A lot of people were, look at what Joe Flacco does every year. Every year, Joe Flacco's just chilling, hanging out until some team's quarterback goes down. They're like, Joe, we need you. And he shows up. And he grabs his lunch pail and he does the job. Why can't LeBron do that? Like this year. At the deadline, it's like, Knicks are pretty good. I'm going to join the Knicks. And I'm just, boom, win a chip with the Knicks. Next year, do the same thing again. Kevin Durant would be perfect at this. Even though he did OKC dirty, I would love for KD to return home to OKC. I think the last move for Kevin Durant to make, and this is a KD that, I know he didn't play in that playoff series against the Lakers. He still was the best player on that Rockets team. That was a young, athletic, very, very fresh Rockets team, and KD was still clearly the number one option. He's still a walking bucket. There's obviously drop-off on the defensive end and a little bit on the athleticism. That happens with a guy like Kevin Durant. He still produces so much. He's still such a good basketball player. Kevin Durant going back to OKC would be awesome. I think OKC fans would love it. I think basketball fans in general will just be stoked on that, right? And I don't think it'd be viewed as the same way as him leaving OKC to go to Golden State. Even though it's a very similar, like he's joining the best team and making them better, he'd be going home. To see him win a ring with OKC, I think it'd be awesome. The only problem is there's no shot he gets along with those guys. Those guys are a bunch of nerds. Do you remember at the parade, all of the alcohol, and I don't drink myself, but they didn't drink a single thing of any of the Dom Perignon or any of the booze that was on the table. Chet was hammered, and he's like, sorry, this is like my first time drinking. A lot of it was like their very first time drinking or doing anything or partying at all, because they don't. They like sit and hang out with each other and like play video games with each other and like go shopping. There's not a whole lot to do in OKC, but they don't do anything. Like I really don't think Kevin Durant would get along with these guys at all. But it'd be cool if he played over there with them. His home is OKC unless Seattle comes back. Well, that's the thing, JD. C4, you got it. You hit the nail on the head. Kevin Durant going back to OKC would be cool, but he 1,000,000% needs to play for whatever that expansion team is in Seattle. Whether it's his last year or even if it's like a year where he just plays a Udonis Haslem and just sits on the bench and chills. It's not going to be next year. I think it's going to be in 2 years. Kevin Durant will be 40. I think he'll still be good enough to hoop at that age, right? There's going to be a drop-off. Obviously, there will be. He's 40 years old. He'll still be able to give you, 20 and 6. Throw a couple assists in there and maybe play a little bit of defense, get a block or two. He's still 7 feet. He absolutely needs to play for that Seattle team. Whoever it is, whoever owns it, wherever it is, Kevin Durant has to play for that team. I'm already in transaction mode, dude. I'm already in full transaction mode. I just can't believe right now we're in a world where the NFL schedule has got me more hyped than NBA playoffs and the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, I've watched every single NBA playoff game, and I've loved it every single step of the way. Round 2 was okay. Round 1 was awesome. The hockey's been really good every single night. But something inside me is like, I cannot wait to watch this schedule release and see where my team is playing next year. Even though we already have the opponents. And a bunch of stuff is kind of like already leaked out. I already know who my team is playing. I just don't know when. I cannot wait to see when the Chargers are playing the Chiefs, what week, when we're going to Denver, when Denver's coming here, when do we get to see Fernando Mendoza. I cannot wait to see when my team is playing, and that is so weird. That is so weird. As a sports fan, the PGA Championship is this weekend. Roland Garros is coming up. I'm excited about that. We got the NBA playoffs on. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs is on. There's so much excitement in sports, yet the collective sports world is locked in on the NFL schedule release. It's the biggest thing happening this week in sports. That's crazy, dude. The NFL's starting to scare me. I'm not going to lie. It's getting too big and too popular. We need to pump the brakes and slow it down, okay? We seriously do. Or we extend the season out to be a 365-day season and just make all of life the NFL. Platoon. You get new teams. Flip them in and out. NFL is calling you like the Green Goblin mask. It is. It's whispering sweet nothings in my ear, being like, hey, stop watching basketball. Watch me, watch me, watch me. And, of course, tomorrow is the first time in the past 40 days where we don't have an NBA playoff game. The NFL's like, ooh, we're going to release the schedule right there. It's going to be must-watch TV. It's going to get more the NFL schedule release is going to get more views than Game 7 of Philly and Boston did. I guarantee you that. Because people are so obsessed with football right now. And there's a similar thing happening in football that happened in the NBA a couple of years ago, where the transaction became the most exciting part of the sport. Where it's like, oh, Seeing trades, free agency, trade deadline, dude. Oh my gosh, we are absolutely eating up every single transaction that happens. Everyone has Schefter on notice. You have to if you love ball. The fact that we're so jazzed up for the schedule release is absolutely crazy, and I'm getting nervous about the NFL. It's making me scared. How do we feel about Mendoza? I feel like he's a pretty little overhyped. I feel like he's a little overhyped. I'm losing it, guys. I'm out of gas. No problems here. No problems here. I'm a narcissist. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be very good. He throws a very, very beautiful ball. He can hum the pill, brother. He can whip it downfield. Good ball player. One thing that you see a lot in the NFL is quarterbacks from Ohio State usually get to the league and stink. Like most Ohio State quarterbacks that have come and made it to the NFL have been pretty bad. Right? Think about him. Will Howard doesn't play. Cordell Patterson didn't do anything. Rest in peace. Wow. I mean, who's the guy? Pryor. Terrell Pryor became a wide receiver. The reason Ohio State quarterbacks don't have much talent in the NBA is because in college, they're playing with unbelievable, unreplicable, talented offenses that they cannot create in the NFL. Fernando Mendoza played on one of those offenses where every single position was filled with talent. He had amazing tight ends, amazing running backs, an amazing offensive line, amazing wide receivers, and now he's going and playing for the Raiders. They stink. The Raiders aren't good. They added a lot of pieces, I know. Yada, dude. Oh, Clint Kubiak, maybe. They're not a very good football team. So he's going from having like the most talented roster possible in college football to now a very, very mediocre Raiders team. There's usually a drop-off. And it's not that guy's fault. The most surprising one was the fact that Joe Burrow still continued to ball out, dude. Because that's just, he had Jamar Chase, though. And he had T. Higgins. And Joe Mixon. He went to a team that still had talent around him. The Raiders don't really have that. They have Ashton Genty. They have Brock. Is Hunter Renfrow still balding? Henry Ruggs is still in jail. They got a wide receiver. Am I tripping? The only good quarterback who went to Ohio State didn't even get playing time there, Joe Shiesty. Yeah. I think he won't start by the end of the season either, to be honest. I think he's going to start I think Kirk Cousins is going to start at the beginning of the season. But I think probably like week 6-ish, when they're like 1-5, they'll bring in Fernando. It's just going to be a horrible, horrible decision. They should just sit him the entire year. But Kirk Cousins isn't good at football anymore. So that's the weird part. I really think football gets more popularity because it's only like 3 or 4 months, while basketball, MLB, and NHL are almost year-round. I hear you, but how quickly did we go from the Super Bowl to NFL free agency and then into the combine and then straight into the draft? And now we're on schedule release mode. And then we're going to take like a month off and then boom, we're in OTAs. Like, football might only be 3 or 4 months, but it's become year-round. It's become a year-round covered sport. NFL Live is on every single day. Every single day on Get Up and on First Take, they talk about the NFL. Because they know the ratings go down if they don't talk about the NFL. Because it's that big. I think it'll be flipped. I honestly see him starting the year and they try something else, but I agree Kirk drops stinkers every week now. That's the weird part. TK, bro. 3-stream streak. TK did that. Thank you, bro. The Kirk Cousins one is a really interesting move. Like I think Kirk Cousins has been a good quarterback. He's a great decision maker. I think he's going to be a good influence on Fernando Mendoza. But I don't know. Do you start him and then let Fernando Mendoza like warm up to the position, or do you start Fernando and then bring in Kirk to help out? I don't think the goal of the Raiders is to win the Super Bowl next year. I don't think they have that roster. I don't think they believe they can either. I think the goal of that team is to just have a quarterback of the future and see if they have that with Fernando. And so if that means starting him at the beginning of it all, then they'll start him at the beginning. But if they don't think he's ready, you easily go with Kirk Cousins. But I'm doing a research essay on how modern NBA has changed from the earlier days. Do you got any good points I could use? It depends on what your hypothesis is. It all depends on your hypothesis. We could do that later tonight. I'm super down to help out. Fellas, I'm out of gas, bro, and I have to go live at 7. So I only have like 3 hours to edit all my clips and then get ready for the next show. So I'm up against the clock. Is it cool if I clock out like 10 minutes early? No, they got to start Kirk unless they wouldn't have paid Cousins as much as they did. That's what that's how I am, JD. I'm like, you can't pay Kirk Cousins like a legit $30 million a year contract. And just for him to back up Fernando Mendoza. It's just a lot of money. Slade, absolutely love you. You guys are the absolute best. We'll help with that research project in tonight's show, which I'll be going live at 7 p.m. pretty much, maybe a little bit later. I got some things to worry about in between, but the basketball's at 5, so hopefully I'm ready to rock by then. But, fellas, great show. You guys absolutely rock. I'm seriously like so thankful for what you guys bring to the show. Last night was such a blast. Having those like creative contests is so much fun. And I want to do that again tonight. So I kind of want to focus this idea, and I'll talk about it with you guys in the Discord. The baseball team that's playing in Vegas next year, they don't have a team name. They can't be the A's because that already got copyrighted by some guys. So what team is going to be in Vegas? I think we create some team names for them, but I'm out of gas. I love you guys so much. I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Vini, outie.
I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Won't you take me away? Beginning to think that I'm wasting time. I don't understand the things I do. The world outside looks so unkind, and I'm counting on you. You can carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Won't you take me away? And when my mind is free, you know a melody can move me. When I'm feeling blue, the guitar's coming through to soothe me. Thanks for the joy that you're giving me. The joy that you're giving me. I want you to know that I believe in your song. Oh, yeah. Rhythm and rhyme and harmony. You help me along. Oh, you're making me strong. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Drift away. And give me the beat, boys, and free my soul.